you wanted to
But
spend
I'm
less, then
keeping
we
up
can
all
find
my
something else to do.
stuff, 'cause girl's gotta take care of her clothes.
Also,
All right.
Hans, just another side note. I'm just, whenever I have free time, gonna start looking in my vest of many pockets to see if there's something just left in there.
No, there's nothing in there. I don't know if I'd call it a vest of many pockets. There's several concealed hidden pockets on the inside, sort of under the arms of the vest, and then like a larger one around the back to conceal small items. But no, there's nothing in there. It doesn't look like it had a previous owner. It was
Made
material.
Grown.
Okay.
I don't know.
So I don't know if anybody has any other things they want to buy or do. I assume as about a week passes till somebody told me what the next thing they were going to do was.
Yeah.
You're studying more of your language books, Eben, and Zig's finishing overseeing the preparations for the Hydra's Lament and spending time on his front porch.
Do we also need to go to one of the guilds to deal with Fenn's sort of overdue thing? Because he had mentioned
Oh shit, yeah, he had a
payment.
balance, right.
That we might need to cover in order to actually get this
I remember doing that.
He says, no, there's no guild for, in particular, being a tavern owner. There are merchant and tradesmen guilds, but none there. I was extended member of the Brewmasters Guild. I could rejoin and pay some back dues and get, potentially sources of ale and mead for the tavern. But
do you know how much
with your friend Blacksteed sending kegs, and he seems to be willing to send more, we probably can be supplied by him.
Does he know how much he owes?
No, I'm not sure.
Alright, well, find out if you can and let me know.
Time seemed to have slipped away in those last months. Maybe they were years. Don't even remember when I sold the furniture from upstairs.
Damn it.
But this is better. This is better than it ever was. This place is... Yeah. It'll be interesting at least to see what kind of crowd we draw here, but... It should be interesting. And he peers up above the large fireplace that's got a crackling fire, and they keep going most of the day. And there's this giant mounted Hydra head, neck arched, mouth open, in very lifelike animation from the magic-infused taxidermy that was performed on it. So, if nothing else, about a week passes before Eldak had something he wanted to do.
Going back to the outfitters after I feel like it's
I'm sorry, Eben, you said you wanted to check on the ship, and I'm sure Zig does at some point too. Things are fine there. You still have another, number of weeks on the docking fee that's there. It seems to be a secure area. There doesn't seem to have been any problems. The most of Gloomy, Clever's been up into the inn a couple times, but Clever spending a lot of his time down there. Gloomy's spending almost all the time on the ship. As is the newer crew member Swab, and I'm forgetting somebody.
Pleasant?
No, Pleasant's been spending most of his time at the Hydra's Lament. You could see him shaping into a good innkeeper, actually.
Okay.
So Scurvy's been up and back. He's not the official cook, but he's helped get outfitted and is doing some work there. Though Dontar is under orders not to let him just cook all the meals for any patrons that happen to come in. Captain's orders. Am I forgetting somebody of the crew? Yeah, and Ramona, of course, has been up there, and Two Fingers is. Oh, Sharkbait. Sharkbait has mostly been either at the Hydra's Lament or just about town. Yeah, and he's they're taking some turns to go back as other people leave because it's always supposed to have 2 to 3 people on the ship to keep an eye on it. So things seem to be in order. Captain's quarters are locked up tight.
Thanks, buddy. What?
All looks well. Yes, you have.
Yeah, so yeah, when the time comes, I'm gonna make my way.
So about a week passes and things are getting in order. Part of that time was of what you were doing that previous day of taking care of Cheryl and all that situation. So, Eldak, are you going to sticky bun it, or are you?
No, I'll leave. I'll tell them I'm leaving. I'll let them know that I might have work for us.
Need company?
No, it's fine. It might not be guaranteed yet, so there's no point in bringing anyone if it's gonna be a trip for nothing. So.
All right.
Okay. So you make your way up northward through the city, up toward the procession district, sort of near the gate, where you had previously been to and scoped out this outfitter's place. And you return there. What time of day is it that you return? Just on that day that was mentioned on the poster or whatever?
Yeah, it's afternoon, probably early afternoon when I go.
You can't Interesting. Sorry, fiddling with the map. So it's about midday. It's quite busy in the town up there in the procession district, and there is quite a bit of traffic in and out of there, and there seems to be a small cluster of people gathered on the front porch area. And as you kind of come up, there seems like there's a small crowd, sort of forming a loose line, sort of turning into the little stable yard there, with the gates open. Of people.
It's a line going into the shop?
It's actually kind of it sort of starts on that porch of the shop, but it sort of looks to be actually going out around and into the side area where there's open gates and like a stables
Regretting
area.
letting people spend the night.
I'll go inside and I'll try to find Bertrand.
Okay. Bertrand is there, sort of behind the bar, and helping a couple customers. And as he finishes up briefly, oh, welcome back. I was hoping we might see you today.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you can see there's a number of people waiting outside. They are here to test their mettle and see if they're up to the task. Miss Swill's out there giving them a go through now.
Is it like an open area where I could just walk to and watch rather than have to stand on the line and wait?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's not like a super long line, but yeah, but because there's like kind of open gates, you can just sort of walk in front of the gates and sort of better look into the area where there's sort of an open area. You can see a couple like attached stables area, and this is sort of an open courtyard. Off to one side, there's several wagons harnessed. There's actually quite a few wagons that are kind of clustered on one side. There's two that are sort of normal, sort of almost like covered wagon style wagons for like just hauling goods with some cover from the elements, tarped above them. There is one that's almost like a stagecoach with like a completely wooden enclosed area with small doors, like maybe like a nobleman's carriage or something, but it looks quite rugged. And there's a fourth wagon that's almost that's very large. It's almost like a flatbed with just low sides. It's empty of any goods. There's various straps and things on the long wood planks, and it's very long and has multiple sets of wheels and is harnessed up to a large. There's no horses on it right now, but it's got like a large, a long harnessing bar, and it looks like it takes several teams of horses to pull. In the courtyard there is two youngish men sparring a little bit with long swords. One looks to be kind of common in his dress. He's got some sort of ragged leather armor on, and it just sort of looks like ill-fitting for him. Mm-hmm. And then there's another man who looks a little bit fancier dress, and they seem to be using some dulled swords, and they are sort of sparring together. Next to them is a woman, and let me grab this here. Next. Sorry, checking my notes. She's got shoulder-length dark brown hair, several twists of leather and beads sort of dangling at the side of her sort of short haircut. She wears a pretty practical red shirt and leather pants with a number of pouches at her belt. Also a whip is like coiled up at her hip, and a rather elaborate-looking short sword at her side. Go ahead and make a... Actually, I'm not going to make you make a check. I'm going to send you a message, though.
Okay.
And I'm going to screw up my cameras if I try to send you a message. Oh, I can't have private chat room in here. Oh, man, that's the bad thing about the call.
Yeah.
We need to find it.
Had not considered don't have secret DM room.
We need to find a different thing for the,
You just flip over and send them an independent. Of course, I don't know if it'll mess up your pictures or not.
well, flip over. Change anything.
Yep. Because it shifts the cameras.
As soon as I do that, it's just going to put the thing on there. All right, well, you don't get secret chat then.
That's fine. It can be public. It's going to become public knowledge anyways.
Older now. It's been many years. But this is Britt Swale. She is the daughter of Odette Swale from another father. She is your half-sister. You have not seen her since you left Briefien when you were young and ran away since that evening. But she was older than you, a few years older than you, and she just looks grown up now. She was already at that age busy helping her mother with the business and acting like more of an adult than a young teenager should be. But she is grown up now, and
I'll
Of
stand
course,
outside.
she is human.
I'll stand outside the ring, just watching to see if she notices me.
She
Or
is.
recognizes.
Yeah, she seems engaged right now with watching these two spar. And her. Go ahead and make an insight check. I suppose you're checking her out pretty closely. My dice out. What's all those dice?
20.
Okay. You think that your assessment of these two men's swordplay is about what her assessment is. Her face looks like she's not trying to look insulting, but she looks like
Unimpressed.
just a look on her face of like it's not quite unimpressed. It's almost it's unimpressed, but it's also more like it's like if you could face palm with just a face expression.
That's what it is.
Sort of a sense, sort of mixed in with sort of a personal, emotion of like, oh, like what, what am I gonna do with this, and then she's like, that's enough, that's enough. All right, I've seen enough. Let's see the next two. Who's next? And then a couple more gentlemen step up and sort of take up the dulled swords or whatever. And one says, "Oh well, sword is not mine. My father was a barbarian, and I prefer the battle axe." And he's kind of puffing up his chest. He does not, again, look all that much of an adventurer. In fact, you kind of scan the line of people, and some of them look like they probably have some experience, but they're not of immense quality that are really impressing you. And they begin to spar, so that goes on for a little while.
Yeah, I'll continue to watch.
With the crowds
until it
going
gets
by, she
swords.
hasn't really noticed you off to the side.
No, that's fine. I'll continue to watch and wait until it gets closer to the end of the line.
Okay. You watch a few more sets of people as the next couple sets, as she goes, looks through them. They are of the next couple she dismisses even quicker than the last two. The last set.
My face isn't covered, by the way. I don't have my hood up, and my hair is tied back.
Okay. One of the men, of the last, she looks around for the last group, and there's only one man left. And then she sort of looks around and sees you.
Up short, nobody can run it back.
And she sort of looks at you with a look of recognition. You're quite a bit older, though. And you can see washing over her face a look of like,
Am I seeing
she's sure he
what I'm
knows
seeing?
you. Yeah, well, or I'm sure I know you, but,
But where?
and the other man sort of steps forward and sort of breaks that moment where she's looking at you and you're not sure what she's thinking. She says, and he says, "Oh, I do not fight with a sword. I have some bit of magic." And then she just sort of stops and like sort of puts his hands and sort of like kind of pushes, stops listening to him and comes forward to stand face to face with you and look you over.
Hello, sister.
You're alive.
You are
Wow. And she's, you've grown up quite a bit from being a young, barely a teenager when you last saw her.
too. It's been a while.
She kind of laughs, sort of looking at, you've got like a little goatee and stuff, don't you? If I
Yeah.
remember correctly. Yeah.
Yep. It's clean.
Scruff
It's
on
not
your
like
face.
jungle.
Yeah. No. Yeah, right now it is,
Jungle
right?
mess.
True. Jungle mess, and that was a thing.
Was a
to be
thing.
Sure.
Stop him from knocking up a couple of
The scruff on your face makes you look less elven.
Sometimes you gotta blend in.
Baloopa back. Islands.
Is your
God damn it.
Come down.
They're not my children!
Who says you don't have one?
To be fair, yeah.
Is your sword a brooch right now?
It's a sword. It's on my hip.
So you have 2 rapiers.
The elven one that I bought, which is just the decorative one, but also is just a rapier, and then the saber of duplicity.
Yeah. You know how to use those? Did you come because of the sign?
I came for a couple of reasons. But yes, the sign is one of them.
She kind of shakes her head. I can't believe you're alive. I guess I always thought, probably hoped, but you disappeared. And then she sort of has a look, almost, it's like a flash, almost like anger. But it's not like, rah, but it's like, you can kind of see it behind her eyes a little bit.
You left, why did you leave kind of anger.
Yeah, but then just leaves it hanging there and doesn't complete that thought.
Yeah.
You any good with those?
You're damn right I am.
Alright. Let's have a look. She pulls the short sword from her belt.
I'll pull the saber of duplicity.
She notices the other one at your hip. No, because you draw the saber. Okay.
Yeah, the saber, the fancy.
And we'll just handle this. Obviously, you're not trying to stab each other, but go ahead and roll for initiative.
Okay.
And I didn't put anything on her. Plus, you need a token, don't you?
Yes.
We'll just put your token right here. If I can find it. Can't roll that a token.
Hold the X action.
Don't fuck me! It fucked me.
Hope I
She
put
could
this
do
on the
worse.
character sheet.
We're family. She rolled worse. That is par for the course, just like me.
Okay.
When
So
it
go
matters.
ahead. We'll just say you can use whatever you want, but you're not trying to draw blood. You can describe your hits in some other way.
Walk around, sizing up, and then do like for a thrust forward, but to not hit her.
Okay.
Like put her on like her shoulder
Okay.
to try to gain the advantage. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Oh snap.
Okay.
I'm not gonna roll for damage though, but
We'll go ahead and roll for damage
Okay.
to give me an idea of what it is.
okay, well,
You're not. I know you're not like stabbing
And-
into her, but
there's that. Oh wow, real bad sneak attack.
would it be sneak attack? Oh, because you
26,
have
yeah, it's advantage.
advantage. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So
Okay. She brings the short sword up. It sort of blocks it, but you sort of stop it right there, which would have been a piercing blow, like right into her. Above her, right above her shoulder or whatever. You pulled it short, but like, and there's a look of surprise in her eyes. You do know how to use that.
I'm just gonna smile the whole time.
Let's see. Oops. I guess I have all his initiative on.
That hits though.
Auto roll damage. Spells will manage. Turn that off. Vanish toggle. I know other people do it this way. I don't. So, you know.
Uncanny dodge as well.
Yeah, she sort of comes around with a side swing, you know, like that would have hit your waist. Though you're already twisting out of the way, but it still would have made contact. She's pretty fast. And you estimate that she is actually a practiced swordsman as well.
You're pretty good yourself.
She sort of, you know, stops and, you know, puts her, you know, hands to her sides. So, you can see what I have got here. I need men. I need a small handful of men. I'm paying 1,000 gold pieces a head. She sheaths her short sword.
Sheath my sword as well. What's the job? We can talk inside if you'd
We'll
like.
reveal it on. No, we'll reveal it once I have all my members and we're on the road, but not within the city.
I have a crew.
I will tell
for
you
a team.
that it is deadly, and I won't take any of these. I don't want to take any of these men and lead them to their deaths. There's a bounty to be had, and I need my share of it.
I have a crew just as good as I am. You won't need to search for any more men.
Unless we have a healer.
Okay. When can you be ready?
When do you need
The guy
to
over there is like, I can cast a few cantrips, and she's like, get out of here!
God damn it.
When can you be ready?
When do you need us ready? I will need to
Well,
inform them first.
I understand. Well, I didn't know how long it would take to find a group, and I had up to about 15 minutes ago. I thought I might be here days looking for something. I might have to go hand in hand to some of the known adventurers in town, but if your crew is as good as you say,
We can get it done.
as I said, there's a bounty. Others may be hunting it. The longer we wait, the less likely we get nothing.
We could get it done. And if I may ask, what were you doing gone for so long? Your helping hand Bertrand told me that you were not in.
Yeah, Bertrand runs this place. I don't come to Terrafex very much. Still run the outfitters in Briefien and run all the routes from here all the way northeast to the edge of the Mist Dominion. Times are tough, but I just don't get down here that much. This area makes some money on local trade, but mostly we run items in here. And she looks down at your hip. That sword probably came in on one of my wagons. It's Nadark steel, isn't it?
Would I know that?
I can't remember her name. Bertha, I believe. The large, elderly half-orc woman
Yes.
of this weapon shop told you it was fine elven steel, and it has a brand on it and a rune that says Nadark.
Okay.
Remember me talking about that?
Yeah. Yes. It was
It's sort of a
okay.
special time of night that's rumored to be sort of associated with the twilight hour when the Feydark is the closest, but also it's the name of a noble house in the Elven Court.
Well, would you like to catch up, or do you have business?
We can catch up on the road.
All right.
I hope your friends are as good as they say they are, or you say they are.
You won't be disappointed.
We're better.
Yeah, she seems a little bit, like I said, just that flash of a little bit of
Anger, why did you
Yeah.
leave? Yeah.
yeah.
Upset. Understand.
There's probably a lot to talk about, but
Yeah.
maybe not ready yet.
Understandable.
And she goes back inside the Outfitters.
I'll leave. I'll go
Okay.
back.
You come back in the Hydra's Lament, and most of the people are off doing, their various business. Sharkbait's leaning on a tall stool, legs dangling on the edge of the thing, drinking a mug of ale. He's like, "Oh, you got any of those sticky buns?"
They're all out. I'm sorry.
But the rest of the party's around doing whatever they want to be doing.
Yeah,
I
where's
just give him
the
a look when he enters.
crew?
I just give him a look.
I'm playing solitaire with the deck of cards that I
Like, drink while you're-
got it.
Keep going. I'll be right back.
Welcome.
The Orcish cards? You took that from me?
Yeah,
When?
I
Bullshit!
don't remember.
Yeah, I called
Then I
shenanigans.
asked you for them at some point.
I don't remember this. Shenanigans.
Cards? Is that what the problem is?
No, I miss people stealing shit from me. It bothers me.
I'm positive I asked you for them at some point. And
I
if I
don't
didn't,
remember.
I did.
I'll start deep.
I'd probably give them to you if you asked, but
There we go.
But you tried
So I
to steal
asked
them, so
very
now
nicely.
you don't get them.
Sleight of hand
I'll
doesn't
find
work
you
on
guys. I'll find you guys wherever you are and convene you all together.
me. I'm downstairs playing
Yeah,
on
I'd be
the bar.
downstairs.
Hans left to kick off
No,
son off.
to tuck the girl into bed.
Get out of here. Had to agree to this being a adult channel when you entered. You're not an adult. Yeah.
You weren't supposed to click that button. Deepest button. God damn it. But yeah, I'll let you guys know that I have work if you are interested. Since it's
Awesome.
been kind of slow.
Could always use something exciting.
What is it?
Do we get to kill people?
Probably.
I'm in.
So you're in. Yeah, I figured. I don't know the details yet, but my sister has work for us.
Your sister.
Sister.
Wait, your sister?
Yeah. She's part owner of the Swale Outfitters, the place that I've been going to.
Place you've been sneaking to?
Wasn't important until now.
Thought you were just going to get
Your
sticky buns.
sister wasn't.
Yeah, your
important till
sister's
now.
not important?
Didn't know if it was her or not. I had to go back and make sure before I told you guys. But she has work for us. I didn't know who was gonna be there. It just had my mother's last name. So I was intrigued, concerned. Wasn't sure who was gonna actually be there.
Is it gonna be a problem? Concerned? We all
Not
have.
concerned isn't worried, just concerned is the reaction of whoever it was, and it was my sister. My half sister, but my sister nonetheless. It was something I needed to do on my own, and now it's done. And now we possibly have work.
What kind of work?
We have to go back and talk to her about it. She will
She didn't tell
debrief
you at
us
all?
about it. Nope. I'm getting paid 1,000 up front.
1,000?
Some.
Hmm.
Gotta
Hmm.
be dangerous if it's that much.
There's a bounty. I don't know what the bounty's for, but
For a person?
I have not been told much. It's a bounty and other people are going. So she wants it done as soon as possible.
With us or otherwise.
I think with us? Did she want to go? Is she planning on going with us? Was that the thing, Hans? Or is it more so she's...
You said we
Okay.
and most and stuff.
Yeah, plus she says she'll catch up on the road or whatever.
Yeah.
So I assumed she wanted to go.
Still, yeah, she plans on coming. I don't know how big of an endeavor it's gonna be, but
Yeah. A bounty usually means
what if-
other people are looking too.
yeah.
Except I would like to know what we're looking for.
This is why we all need to go
When?
and talk about it as next most convenient time for everyone. I told
I'm
her
not
I would
doing
come
anything
back.
now.
I told her I would come back after I asked. I figure I'd not commit us to something that we didn't want to do. Just
We get to
Being-
kill people.
partially courteous. I don't know if that was the right call on.
People to kill.
Yeah, most
Alright.
likely.
Tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow.
Does that mean I have to give up my room upstairs to some random stranger?
Only if they rent it out.
Alright, well I gotta swing by the ship.
Yeah, so far, none of the inn rooms. I don't think you gave them any money to set
I
up.
don't think they've been.
Like I said,
We did.
I was gonna say I went to ask the guy or whatever how to take a look to let us know.
Oh, yeah.
They got
Okay.
a lot
Much
of,
it
and
might
they got a lot
cost.
of money from selling the little crap like that.
If
Outfit.
if you wanna, yeah, if you wanna invest, well, do you want to furnish the rooms like the top floor rooms too, or just the 8 rooms?
What's the estimate for all of it?
I'd say the lowest estimate for just like bare furnitures, it's like the cheapest sort of, beds and stuff. Maybe we'll say 20 gold a room. But if you want to spend upwards from there, you can have it be progressively nicer.
What about from that guy?
That'll
that
include
did
like
all
a
the-
bed with like a basic straw mattress, like a small table. Maybe not really anything big. More elaborate ones might include larger headboards and big wood frames, or furniture with a little bit of a character to it. Rugs, things like that.
I think we talked about getting the guy who made all the tables downstairs to do the beds for upstairs.
He does that as well. It's not just like
Yeah,
don't know,
you
that's
you
what
talked
we
with him.
asked
He could craft that furniture. It'll take a little while.
I'm
Push
okay with it
back.
if people are.
but that's
good with
fine.
that.
Yeah.
We could do
That's
slightly better than just normal if people are down with that.
I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Less bare bones and more homely.
So,
I guess, or how you would
like,
want a tavern to
Do you
be.
want to furnish the rooms that would be for your group as well, the top floor rooms?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So that's 8, 12.
Yes, I can keep my room.
Can't do maths. I need some quick maths.
Hey, 2
Quick
plus 2 is
math.
4. Minus 1, that's
Four.
2
Minus
quick
one
maths.
is 3.
Mom,
Your girl is the uppers.
Oh, your girl.
Mom's not.
Mark.
Oh,
Girl is
If you wanted to spend like another 350 gold, I think you get some nice furnishings in there.
We've got that
yeah.
from.
Okay.
Do you want to do it from
Yeah.
our ship gold,
What?
or do you want to
that's
sell
the
stuff?
ship gold. No, we have what 4K worth of
Yeah.
gold.
Rough 4,200, almost. Yeah. And then we still have stuff to sell, but we just haven't done it yet. We sold the pelts, and that's what furnished the bar
And
downstairs.
Zig put in the money from the statues, so the
Yes.
the statues right there will pay for it because it was $150 per statue.
No, but we used that already, no?
I thought that's what this was for.
Oh no, I don't think that it was for anything specific. I forgot. It was 150 each. Yeah. Okay. So
You didn't use
You-
that.
you place some orders with them, and Pleasant and the crew know to get the stuff picked up.
Well, then we
and
don't have to
installed.
tip into our gold then. Just from those then, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I don't have to adjust that. I can close that.
So you mulled it over and decided to meet up with her then?
Yeah,
Yes.
with everyone.
And Zig decided the morning would be better. I give Eldek
Yeah.
back his card.
That's yeah.
Put
okay.
them together.
I figure by the time I come back, watching all of the sparring is probably getting late anyways to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
we'll do it in the morning as early as possible. Do I know when it opens? Like, was there a set time?
You went there early in the morning one time, and they were already open.
Okay.
No reason being how long you're
Alright,
So
take
you guys get a night's rest. Get all set up with everything you need. Get your gear. Eldak sleeps a little restlessly, with thoughts tumbling around of his family. But then in the morning, you get all your adventuring gear and head to Swale Outfitters. I've described it several times, so you guys all heard what it looked like. I won't go through it again, but it's early in the morning. The street still has a decent bit of activity at being near the gate in the procession district, but there's not a lot of foot traffic going in and out of there. But the gates on the stable area appear open, and there's teams of horses ready in there. And Bertram and Britt are readying the teams of horses.
I'll walk up. I'll make our presence known, and I'll tell them that we're here.
Horses.
Bertram kind of over his
horses.
shoulder as he spots you guys coming in, and Britt
horses.
turns and
Why don't you pussies
sees
wanna
you all
walk?
and kind of looks over your group, assessing you. Yeah. That's all she says. Yeah. To
Are you
you.
bringing the horses to eat on the path, or
No,
Because
absolutely
you're-
we are not. These are prize riding horses.
I
Bertram, get
Grab her.
he looks at her. Get one of the draft horses, and a couple of the other riding beasts.
Just
Saddle's ready.
so noted that I'm wearing my blacks and my browns are in my bag, but I left the other stuff, the other clothes
Okay.
tucked away.
Okay.
bring a horse?
Well, then you can walk, Zig.
Fine by me.
Oh, we've got a horse you can ride.
This is normal.
We've got a horse
and
sturdy
I'm
enough for you to
sorry.
ride, big man. And
I
so
walk
Bertram ready starts getting. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
walk up to the half elf and I said, "I didn't know you had a sister."
I thought you said rag at first.
Looking, I point to Eldak.
We had this conversation yesterday.
No, I'm not talking to Eldak. I'm talking to the girl.
Oh, that
She's not a half elf.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever she is. But I didn't know you had a
human.
sister.
Human. She's a human.
She obviously doesn't understand that I'm calling Eldak a girl. Never mind, you're slow. I'm
Oh
gonna turn around.
no,
I'm
I
gonna
didn't.
Go back to the
Well,
horse.
you said half elf. I didn't know he. I didn't. I, the DM, didn't know you were talking to.
I didn't realize she was a human. Sorry.
That's okay.
Should have recognized the stink on her.
All right. So you know kind of insult Eldak there.
It's gauging her reaction. Obviously nothing.
Eyes at him.
Yeah, it's sort of a reaction that's hard to read.
Coffee would never.
Okay.
This
She
is
says,
normal. Like,
I can see you were kicked in the head by a horse as a child. Alright, I'm gonna go get on the horse you give me, and then we can go find the bad
I didn't know I
man.
had any family left anymore. Be just a moment till he gets it ready. You can see the other teams of horses that are ready. He's got several horses ready already, and from out of the stables, Bertram brings a large Clydesdale-looking draft horse that's huge, and it's got a saddle on it that's almost too small for it. But it's just a beast of a workhorse.
I walk back to Eldak and I say, really a charmer. Tell.
I slide up behind Eldak and whisper in his ear, got any other family we need to know about?
not to my knowledge. That'd be a surprise to me too.
Okay.
And then I look at the horse and I say, Melisande, your horse is here.
Thanks, dear. I think that one's yours.
Yeah, so they leave that up. And are you all ready? Then it's kind of obvious that you're all ready. So
Yeah.
because you got all your backpacks and adventuring gear on.
What's going on?
You guys each get a riding horse, a saddle to ride, and Zig gets helped up by Bertram, and Bertram has to wave over several others to get Zig
Christ.
up on the horse in his massive metal armor. It's quite actually a sight of trying to get him up in the stirrups and up leg up over the horse. Not that you're letting it known to anyone, Zig, but you're a little nervous of being up here and a little less mobile in the
I don't
armor.
like horses. Horses
Well,
are stupid.
yeah.
I'm gonna.
You're also not sure how much control you're gonna have of this horse if it decides to do whatever it wants.
I'm
but
gonna.
You're not letting
I'm gonna
that
talk-
show to anyone. I know that.
I'm gonna talk to my sister. I'm just gonna say he made that armor and he lives in it basically. So this is gonna be a
He
sight.
made that armor, he
Yes.
forged it himself.
Yep. Well, with
Wow.
some help, but yeah. But this is gonna be a sight. He
Alright,
talks. He talks a lot of shit.
Our prospects are looking better. All right.
So what is it that you're having? us do?
Follow behind, and the other horses that are ready is actually that long wagon with the flat bed that's very long. It's probably I don't know, close to 20 feet. It's probably 15, 18 feet long. And it doesn't really have any supplies in it, just straps where you might hook up to barrels and things like that. And it's got a team of 4 horses on it. And she climbs in that and sort of slowly maneuvers it out. I said, just follow me to out to the road.
Why does she get on a wagon?
Would you rather ride in a wagon?
Who are we going after here?
If you want to rather ride in a wagon than ride a horse, you can.
Whatever. Fine, I'm up on this horse.
Okay.
Yeah, he's already on the horse. He would have to get back down, and then he'd probably fall, and it would hurt his ego.
So you slowly proceed out of town. Bertram closing the gates to the outfitters behind you. She gives him a wave, and he gives her a wave.
So what's her
good luck.
name?
Good luck to all of you.
Her name's Britt.
Brent.
Britt, when did your dad leave your mom to screw an elf?
My dad died. You gotta ride up on the Clydesdale as you're going toward the gates, up, or probably fall back toward the wagon.
Well, he obviously spread his
my
seed
father,
a little bit before
my father
he died.
died actually when I was quite young. It was after that.
After he died?
What?
It's after he died that he impregnated an elf.
No, my
That's
mother.
Around. Come on, Zig, get it.
You make it hard to have a conversation. You just let you fall over.
I run up next to Eldak and say, "Here we go again."
No, my father died. No, it was. He's on my mother's side.
Oh. Well. That's weird.
And it was after he died.
So he's a little distracted over there.
Did the elf kill him?
No. My father?
So
No. He might as well have killed my mother, though.
he was just into twisted dainty hen?
And that she sort of closes up any further conversation she was going to give you.
Who are we going after?
As you leave the gates of the city or on the road, you ask that question, and she says, a little louder so the rest of the group can hear, "We're hunting a dragon."
A dragon? What
Okay,
type of
then.
dragon?
I take a look at the bag on my hip and I dragon.
I look at him, I'm like, it won't fit. You should have got a new bag.
She's kind of gauging, looking at everyone to see if anyone's panicking or anything, but no one seems to be
Should have
really,
brought
I
a
guess.
healer along.
Dragon. So
As you get a little farther out away from the
it's wagons
crowd,
for
you
its head, right?
traveling north along the.
I'm in the back of the wagon, by the way. Just keeping in a general overview.
Okay. You're not riding a horse,
No.
or just riding behind? Or you want to
I'm
ride on
riding-
the wagon?
Yeah, because that way
Okay.
I can maneuver around if I need to shoot. A
Talk to
lot
the
easier
horses.
than I just can.
Talk to the horse.
I would have to climb up to the front and then speak. That's what some horses. But yes.
Yeah, I'm up riding next to Eldak wherever we are on the.
Hey, Eben, find out if any of these horses are transformed by a wit.
Sure. I don't do it, obviously. I just am chilling in the back.
Try to throw it up with the new map here.
Farty hands. It's pretty great.
What?
That's.
Oh, in your
You were-
chat.
Oh no. Welcome.
Is the situation.
Thank you.
Apparently my son is watching too.
It was earlier, yeah.
So
Oh my god, I just
what was
read
the
what
question?
you wrote in your chat and I hate him. It's the B movie. It's the first line of the B movie. Oh my god. Brett, looking at chat, I regret it.
So you're traveling on the road sort of north from Terrafex. There's a lot of farming lands and golden fields on one side, the Fork Bolt on the left. And you're traveling that way. What was the question you asked before I got distracted? We're talking about our quarry.
I said, don't suppose we brought a healer along, did we?
She looks around at you guys.
I know a couple cantrips.
I'm it again.
Damn it.
Maybe we should have brought the cantrip guy.
That's alright, I'll play.
We weren't gonna find anyone here.
Yeah, fair enough.
There's a lot of traffic along the roads right outside of Terrafex, so but as you get further away, traveling on through the morning, north of here, beyond Hine, out near the borders of Laurun, in the Elder Timberlands, there's a number of isolated farming villages.
Why did you have milk in the bag?
There is a green dragon that is terrorizing the area, or so rumor has it. Well, it's not just rumor. There's a bounty on its head. And I aim for us to collect that bounty. It's disrupting all kinds of trade.
I keep the head.
That I'm actually
Kind of a
not
thing.
sure.
He likes
Hopefully
heads.
we can.
We need to return the dragon and the head to collect the bounty.
So you'll have to wait till after we return it, Zig.
Yeah.
I keep like,
Chopping it off until then.
the whole.
You would have to ask whoever is holding.
Yeah,
the
we need to.
bounty.
Now we need. That's part of the. That's part of it. We need to turn in. We need to bring it with us. And she kind of motions toward the wagon.
He's
Who's
good
about
at
it?
cutting off
Giant
heads.
wagon.
Who's trying to collect this bounty?
The
Who
ring of
set
families
it
in
out?
Briefian.
Hmm. Okay.
It's about. This juncture is about halfway between here and there, but they certainly suffer quite a bit when trade can't come through. And for me personally, I can't run my supply routes through there. No. If it's disrupted by that, I mean, so
Where are we going?
frankly,
on
I
this
need the gold.
map? Wildwick.
Yeah, we're going on this map toward beyond Hine on the Dark Railroad. You have to scroll down on the map a little bit.
On Glen. Yeah.
Yep.
Alright. Well, are we gonna sit around here and gab all day, or are we gonna go kill a dragon?
No, you're on the road.
We're moving along.
Move faster. What I'm saying.
All right. We'll do that.
Elvac, you said I got to kill people. Dragon isn't.
You don't know that.
Potato, potato.
But what kind of potatoes are you eating?
Just means it doesn't really matter, Zig.
It's true. You don't know if that dragon could be a person. To be quite honest. History books. Read them.
Zig knows how to read.
Probably
Right.
not.
Sometimes. Unless it's on a ship. Captain's logs and that I have knowledge of my entire life and should be able
Man,
to
look
read
at these
without even being
books
able
with
to
these
see.
words. I can't read them.
Just a book with the word. Whatever.
I apologize for that once again.
It was amazing.
I'm biased.
It was.
Hey now, your XP is
You're a rock
fully
star.
legit, even with everyone else. All right, so you travel the rest of the day. If there's not much other conversation to have,
Yeah, I asked her about how long the dragon's been like attacking this area. Like when did it start?
Rumors have been floating around for a number of, a couple months actually, about the forest lands around there, but only a matter of maybe a month or so since it's been nearing civilization and causing enough to get this bounty placed on it.
Where did we go before? Was it Rockside
Sudas.
Downs?
Yep, Rocksod Downs is where the catacombs of the fallen were, or catacombs of the conquered. We kept hearing sightings. Travelers on the road would tell us of seeing something. At first, it was just tales, but then there was more, and it kept being persistent every time my wagons would come through. And then when I saw the bounty posted, I knew it had to probably be true. Sometimes these things, there's bounties posted, but it adds up to nothing. But I knew from my travels here that it could very likely be true. And like I said, I need them. I need the gold. So
What do you need the gold so bad for? Should I be concerned?
No,
Why should you care?
It's
You abandoned
just-
her and left the city.
it's just to keep the family business and the house. Yeah, probably nothing you need to be concerned with.
Ouch.
Yeah. Little brother.
Did you say that out loud, Zig, or are you like taunting him out loud, or are you just teasing him out of character there?
Say it aloud.
She sort
That's
of
completely in
pulls up her
character.
horse and looks at you in the eyes with a pretty serious look. Look, our family is none of your business. You're here to do one job. I hope that you can wield that.
Welcome to Zigversk, Britt. He's always like this. You can ignore him.
Take your panties out of your butt crack. Settle down, lady.
Again,
Here to kill a
ignore
dragon.
him. It helps
Dragon
immensely.
will
He better be worth this 1,000 gold. And she glares at the rest of you, kind of like spurs her horse up toward the. Or actually, she's on the wagon. She can't spur her horse. God damn.
Try to go faster. Yes.
Damn it. But sort
He's
of like
worth his annoyance,
disengages, with that
Jesse.
conversation.
Chew your cud really fast, lady.
The roads here are very pleasant. There's lots of travelers on the roads. For about the first half day, like I said, there's lots of farm fields. There's scattered houses and small, people live outside the city and along the rivers.
I'm gonna guess
After
she's
about
single, Eldak.
at about half a day in, half a day down the road. Oh, excuse me. Where do I have my notes on this?
I don't know. Why are you interested, Zig?
It's not allowed.
Dirty human. Plus, I'm already
True.
married.
Truth.
One human. So,
To a dirty human.
yeah. Another dirty.
I blow him a kiss.
I whisper her to her, they're newlyweds.
About noon, up ahead you see a few structures, and you pass on the left a massive stone bridge that spans the whole Stormcrest River.
This is the fucking beginning of Skyrim.
It kind of has that. Well, we're in the flatlands right now, but it has that feeling of like when you're going in and there's all the open
Minus
valleys
the
and stuff.
beheading.
Yeah, not that part.
Exactly.
Look,
That
you
was
can
all
work it into the
snow.
story.
There's a massive stone bridge that spans the Stormcrest River. It's large enough that ships could pass underneath it. It's huge and wide enough for numbers of wagons to travel across. It's just a massive stone structure, and obviously crafted not just with tools but with some sort of magic as well. You can see occasional even boat traffic passing underneath it in the river, and you can tell it wouldn't be like for the kind of ship you have per se, though you might be able to do it, but you'd need a different kind of ship usually for a river. But river ships, and Zig would know that boats and ships do travel all the way north up the river, quite a ways up the Stormcrest. It's like wide at this point, kind of like maybe Mississippi, or maybe not quite that big, but it's like a major, like huge river like that. This is the Deep Rush Viaduct, and around the east side that you're passing through, there's a small community of inns and taverns. Provisioners have sort of sprung up. It's not really a town per se, but there's lodging and basic supplies and things there. And you keep passing beyond there.
Anybody seen a dragon? Buddy? Dragon?
You get some looks from passersby, but no takers.
Common.
Some of them look a little bit intimidated by you shouting things like that from horseback in your mighty armor.
Girl walking along the road, and I say, "Want to see a dragon?"
Nobody's seen any Part of you, Zig.
Um,
Nelson
You
has
Give me
continue-
10
cards.
minutes, give me 10 minutes, and I can take this armor off, and I can show.
Gonna be a bit. Hold on. Wait.
Goddamn gloves always getting stuck to the arms.
Almost
Oh,
there. A little bit longer.
3 hours later.
Like the quad cannon, the Moon Knights. Stand there. It'll hit you.
okay. You travel. You eventually stop for the night along the road, still in the farmlands. There's like a small inn, roadside inn that you stop at, and Britt pays for rooms for each of you at the small inn, and you guys sort of fill up the place. There's not much in the way of patrons in the small, eating area and eating and drinking area. You guys have sort of filled up the whole place, but they're happy to have the coin and have you there, and they cook you a hot meal and fresh baked grains and breads. And you get a night's rest there. Zig, do you spend 10 minutes to doff your armor and sleep outside of your armor at night, or do you sleep in your armor at all times? I don't think you've once. Okay. I don't think you've mentioned once that you ever take it off.
Oh, are we in?
Considered it might smell like the
bar?
inside of a cast at this point. There's a tap and some ale there.
Are there other?
Better make sure there aren't any mimics.
There's not much. There's a few like locals eating a meal there, and then the bar. The woman who tends the bar and so forth. It's like just a little roadside farming village inn that rarely sees a rare traveler and makes a bit of coin, and now they have 6 people to put up and a bunch of horses, so they're happy to.
No, like big burly farmhand, like he wants to
No.
screw a cow that I can go make fun of for a little bit.
Like an edge town from
No.
The Witcher.
Fine.
So you get a night's rest and continue on the next day. The next day, you into late morning, just before afternoon, you start reaching the edge of there's trees here and there, and they thicken, and you can see sort of hills in the distance, and the road begins raising up out of the farmlands. And then, by afternoon it is, thicker woods. The road traveling up into the hills and sort of winding back and forth through the trees. It's light forest, but still, for this area. And this is the Thorncut Woods, just a lightly forested area. But it gets progressively thicker as you continue.
Evan ought to be feeling right at home.
The
Got sores on my ass from a stupid horse.
the rest of the day,
You could ride in this wagon.
the rest of the day, you
Horse head
keep
would look good
riding.
on the wall of the tavern.
The horse.
Perch it up, put a horn in the middle of it. Turn it into a unicorn.
Unicorn?
He wants to kill the horse he's on and put a horn on it.
I gotcha.
The unicorn doesn't have quite as good of a ring for a bar name, though.
Or
It's a different kind of bar.
fabulous.
Yes!
Yes.
Damn, Chiron, back at it again.
We flip it. Male patrons drink for free, as long as they don't have their shirts on. Mix it up a bit, man.
Does one of the horses sound like that, David? Have you talked
Sure.
to them yet?
It'd be in my mind. If the horse started talking to me like that in my mind, I'd be like, oh, this horse got powers. We need to protect it at all costs. This horse is more special than the other horses, where I just feel what they're sensing. This one is talking to me. In a much different way.
But by the end of the day, you're still in the forests, and you're sort of high up. The storm crest is kind of far below you in a steep valley. And when you were saying Skyrim, that's actually what I was thinking of, is like this area where you sort of come, you come in the mountains, you can see down into the valleys. It's sort of like that. There's a steep valley down there. You can see the river down below it. Forested. You're in like a forested sort of hillside trail. And sort of as trees break, you can see down into this beautiful valley. Near, with this big set of horses, you can't necessarily travel too late. So, a bit before dark, you set up camp. She pulls. You can see several roads sort of that fork off and go ramp downward toward the river. In some places where people can go down to the river and get river access. But she sticks to the high road and pulls off in a sort of small little glen just off the side of the road, sort of overlooking the valley, and starts setting up camp, pulling the wagons around. You
I'm
guys
keeping an eye on
dismount.
the sky as the primary thing, because, dragons
Okay.
and whatnot.
All right, indeed.
That's my main focus. See if I notice, even
Zig-
if at a distance at least.
Sure. Zig, can you make an athletics check?
Yeah.
Well,
you're good.
Okay. Zig swings off the horse back and with a thump lands on
Hero
ground
stance.
on the camp. Yep. So let's set up camp here. Britt says, maybe somebody can make a fire. I'll get the horses all tended to, and she starts sort of gathering up the horses.
I help her with
and-
the horses.
Okay. I appreciate it. And
Anytime.
kind of gets
Start the
them
fire.
tied off to one side, up against like some low-hanging branches of the trees. Wrapping their things around them. We're staking them out.
While helping, I'm actually going to do my primal awareness and see how they're doing. Now that-
with the beasts.
yeah, just to see if
Oh, I gotta remember what it does. It's been a
I
while
sense
since we've
what
done
they're
this.
feeling and such. when
Yeah,
they're
I
doing
just
it.
gonna read real quick. Yeah,
It's on my sheet.
I know. I remember this. We haven't done this for a while. It's like you get a general sense of their primary needs and their
You have an
feelings.
innate ability to communicate with beasts as kindred spirits. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate ideas to the beast as an action and read its basic mood and intent. I learn its emotional state, whether it's affected by magic, if it needs food or safety, and actions you can take to
Thirsty.
persuade. Okay.
Hungry.
So I asked her where like the food is.
Kind of
Where the
sniffing
horse
at
is.
your pack. Apple? Yeah, basic horse thoughts. They seem very tired from the road. Especially the
The big one.
large. Well, there's another set of the draft horses that are pulling this huge wagon too. So, but she's getting out and getting water for them, and grain and things like that.
Put on the ground. Got the ham.
Sure. You could break out Hamp too if you want.
Get your hand phone.
Chop up. You're gonna gather some firewood with Hamp.
Gonna look
Good
for a
make it-
tree way bigger than start on fire.
Okay. Well, there's like maybe a fallen tree that's a little bit more dried, but you can chop up and bring huge like log sections for a fire out of it. So you
Eben,
You
do we
ham for
need
part.
protection? Do we need protection for the horses? I don't really think we need tiny hut, but
I ask, are we near where the dragon is?
You ask Britt this. She looks over where she's with Eben, like putting up the horses. Not yet, though. We don't know. We're headed to Old Acorn Glen, where most of the rumors are circulating. From there, hopefully, I figure we talk to some locals, see if we can get some reports from farmers in the area. But I don't think it's this far south. And then she kind of looks a little like not sure. Now that you've planted that idea, I don't know. She kind of stops what she's doing, and Eben's sort of finishing up, feeding and watering the horses, and she's, I'll be right back.
Yeah, take it.
And she steps over and kind of takes you sort of over toward the edge of the where it overlooks the valley. And from this spot, you can see on the far side, like far to the northeast, Hine, the capital city of Lawaroon. It's not a huge city like Terrafex City. It's smaller, but a highly fortified walled city between two forks of the Stormcrest. And it sits on the south end of some large hills and small mountains you can see even from here like a large fortified castle built into the cliffs above the highly walled city. It's a very pretty scene with the sunlight and looking at it from across the river like this, actually. It's being so close to the capital, I just find it hard to believe that we'd be in trouble. We'd be worried here. Make a perception check, Zig. Dragon! No. It's right there! It's right there! No. You notice, drawing your eyes down from the scene, kind of a few miles north across, the river there. Down below you, where the roads sort of wind down, there's splits I set off the road that kind of go down. And you can see from here there's small trails that in the woods sort of zigzag down the steep hillsides towards the river for people, to go get water and things from the trail. And it's probably several hundred yards below you, but you can see pulling in along the river and sort of the flatlands, grassy areas near the river banks. Is some other large caravan. There's probably like close to a dozen wagons. They're adorned in a number of colorful regalia and ribbons and things. It doesn't necessarily look like a military encampment, but there's, like I said, a large number of wagons and then a bunch of other horses and things. And they're
point at it.
She kind of sighs. Don't worry about them. They shouldn't bother us. Run into them all the time on the road. But, watch your purse. And then she goes back to the camp. She sort of walks back to the camp.
I immediately thought of trick. Person's, oh my. That's for Lucky Jim. Owes it. Famous stealing. Hey Britt, you ever heard of Lucky Jim?
I can't say that I have.
Okay. Owes me money.
He's Ildak's other brother.
I'm killing him.
All right, so you guys are. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You were. Haul some of the wood you've chopped back to camp
Oh yeah.
and
Making
get a
something
nice
that
fire going.
resembles
It's
a
like a
bonfire.
bonfire. Yeah. Okay.
Unnecessary, but like 5 times as big for a fire for a night.
It's borderline dangerous, like height within the forest canopy. But
On purpose.
yeah. And it's starting to burn quite a bit. It is cooler. It's like autumn, just turning, autumn. The harvest season's kind of finishing, so it's a little chilly at night outside. So it'll be nice. Britt returns to finish helping you, Eben. She's like, sorry, here, let me. She, takes the horse who's, you were working with, reins, and make sure all these saddlebags are, she kind of cinches one of the saddlebags up and makes sure it's all strapped and cinched in.
A fall suit with the rest of them.
Just keep your personal belongings close.
Yeah.
I
We
go back to
learned
Mel's
from
Eldak and
being in
hey, there's a
Fairfax to do that.
giant caravan.
Any of the banners look familiar to me?
Go take a look. You kind of walk over to the edge to.
Yeah, I'll go walk over to the edges.
You walk over to the edge to take a look. Go ahead and you can both make a history check.
these
Melusine,
are-
you can have advantage.
Yeah.
I don't think you need a check.
I don't think I need a check.
20! Hey! Pew pew! Finger guns.
I rolled shit, but
No. You have. Eldak, you recognize more from tales than actually meeting them. But it looks like a caravan. The banners and things are all indicative of sort of like a gypsy band of roving Valzengaran group. You've heard they travel in large processions, large groups.
and under my
With
breath,
their
I'm muttering shit. Shit.
known
shit.
by their colorful sort of wagons and everything. They do have a reputation, as gypsies do, sort of being, problems on the road, but they're not necessarily like known as like murderers or thugs or anything like that. But
Bonnie's the caravan.
Petty thieves?
people worried about them being thieves. There's all
Petty
stories.
thieves,
And
yeah.
You're not sure how much of that's true or being a victim of mistrust for your mixed race heritage and everything else.
Eggs.
You're not sure if
Like
that's
Dex.
just what? Degs? I don't know what you're saying. Degs?
Oh, dogs.
Oh. Oh,
Everyone.
okay. Sorry. I don't think I've seen that. Um,
I'm just gonna look at Melusine, I'm not gonna say
and yeah, Melusine, you recognize the banners as this appears to be a caravan of. Check my notes. The Traponsi family.
Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Shit. Shit. Let's do our best to
Copy
avoid
it.
them. I really don't want.
No one else knows about this stuff besides me. We
Yeah, you're the
roughly
only
talked
one who
about it,
knows. Yeah. I don't want to go anywhere near them. If we can help it.
Well, you're several hundred yards up, making camp on the trail, like they're down by the river.
Yeah, but Eldak and I are
Steady
working, so I'm
diet.
saying to him, I don't want to go anywhere near them.
I could imagine. You think this is gonna be a problem?
I don't know. It could be. It might not be. Maybe they won't recognize me. Hopefully they don't recognize me. Shit. I really I don't want to run into them. I wonder
Hopefully
if my father-
they're just traveling and not also have had heard.
I don't want to come anywhere near them. Hopefully my father... hopefully my father figured it out. Yeah, okay. I'm going back to the fire. And I'm gonna go sit down on a log somewhere near the fire and play with the swarm stone that Eldat gave me. Just kind of rolling it in my fingers like a worry stone.
Okay. Britt breaks out some food from the large saddlebags full of provisions and stuff she's brought with, and there's fresh meat for like steaks and everything, and you guys have quite a good meal. Camp meal, but good.
Camp
You know,
meals are the best.
yeah, I mean, it's not, gourmet, but it's, she's got large, fresh steaks and vegetables you can roast over the fire. And pretty soon on this, she's kicked some, coals from the bonfire that's not really good to cook on, but like dug some of the coals out so you have quickly have a nice big bed of coal to the side to cook over. And you guys are roasting and enjoying a meal.
I used to go camping fairly often, and we used to cook on the fire. It was awesome.
That's my favorite thing. Night is sort of falling. Sun's down at this point. You guys are eating your meal, enjoying it. And Zig, you are. Will Eben make a perception check? Let's give it to Eben because he's always telling me how he's on the watch for things.
I usually do first watch. Yeah.
Zig, you are just thinking, man, this meal is really good, but I can't believe there's no
23.
ale or anything. 23? You hear a few crackling of footsteps in the woods nearby.
I'm up throughout the night as well.
Who's next
I'm
to me?
awake.
You're still eating dinner as the campfire's going. You guys are eating your dinner.
Who's next to me? Who's
I'm
closest?
usually sitting next to you.
Sure.
Just as like a general thing.
I'll nudge him and I'll look in that direction.
Out from the forest steps. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm looking in that direction, just trying to see what I can make out.
They're very close to us without being fire. So.
Right. And the edge of the firelight, sort of on the edge of the little grove, coming up apparently from the edge of the some of those small trails or something down toward the river. Three men approach the camp on the edge. They're sort of they're pretty young. I mean, relatively young. About your guys. You guys are all about the same age, like young 20s or something like that. Most all of you. So about the same age. Human. Sort of olive. Darker skin, a little bit darker skin. And the one in front is carrying 2 bottles, one in each hand.
I jump up.
Hello,
from my dinner.
travelers!
I walk over. Is that booze?
You walk over there, yeah, it's like, in fact, it is very special booze. I was hoping we could share your fire. Hello! He kind of looks around Zig and waves.
What do you mean by special?
I'm looking basically around the woods behind him.
He's kind of showing you the lay.
I'm looking at Evan and I'm just shaking my head no. Like, this is bad. No.
You guys from the traveling circus? Circus wine?
It's no circus, just our small family. So we make our way to down to Terrafex City. You're from there, the wonderful Terrafex City, yes?
No. I'm not
No?
from Terra.
Ah. Well, we hear it is a wonder. I've only been there once myself. My
The
friends,
whole of
my friends
bureaucracy
have not been
and vanity. Terrible.
better to live on the road, where you're free. Aha, am I right? And he kind of looks around, trying to make eye contact with sort of the other people in the camp, just try to get a
I'm sort of
reaction.
still in front of him.
Britt just says, kind of, who's Britt sitting next to? I guess Melusine,
I
because
figure,
No.
between Eldak
Maybe,
and Mel,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, he's between
She says,
Eldek and
just-
I think.
yeah, she says to quietly to you guys, just they'll be fine. I deal with these people on the road all the time. They're quite good people, actually. Don't worry about it. But seriously, keep your coin purses tucked away. And she kind of gives a glance at Melusine.
I just shake my head.
And then he says, as he's looking around, kind of like looking around the hulking figure of Zig, a bottle in each hand, trying to kind of make eye contact, trying to get somebody from the camp to, say, yeah, come on in or something, But there's nothing forthcoming. You guys are like, and then, Miss Swale, Lady Swale. And he sort of comes around Zig. He's like, come on, friend. And he kind of comes around you, like waving you
grab
with
one
a
of the
bottle of
things.
wine and went in.
I grab one of the things and walk back over to my meal. And then check my coin purse.
And
Your coin purse is there. Your purse is there. Don't even look at the label, my friend, before you drink. This we bring you a treat, Lady Swale. And he comes over to kind of approach the rest of you and speaking with her. I did not know it was you up here, but we figured must share our fortune. This bottle, he shows you the label, and it's actually sort of like there's like gold sort of leaf seal on the edge of the label and so forth. This is from the very special reserve of the king himself, and he kind of motions toward Hine, the large city you saw across the river.
I already have the bottle open and I've drank like a quarter of it.
It's incredibly good wine. Not that you're necessarily a wine connoisseur, but you do know the difference in wine, right? So I mean, it is very good wine. If maybe not aged enough. Not like I said, you're not a connoisseur, but you know the taste. It matters little to you. It tastes good. It's from their very own royal vineyards there in the highlands behind the city. Off limits to all, but we happen to have come across a few bottles, and we thought we'd share.
How much did you steal?
He's like, it was given to us in trade. Don't just be silly. And he's like fumbling to open the wine bottle.
can I do an insight check on that?
Sure.
See if he's lying. Let's go insight. 24.
Yeah, he's pretty much lying about that. He's doing a very job, maybe not even trying to cover it up, or he rolled a 1. Deception.
Or he had a hard tell.
Yeah, he just sort of maybe a little flabbergasted that Zig just basically said it out loud or whatever, but or maybe just the fact that Zig pretty much implied that he already knew that anyway. He just sort of whatever. In any event, he's uncorking the wine and offering you some if you want. If you have cups, and Britt produces some cups if you guys want some.
So the fact that it was from and it wasn't aged properly, and these guys have it and are drinking.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't a hard connection to make.
Yeah.
I might be a half-orc, but I'm not an idiot.
Take a cup. I'll wait for Britt to pour it though and hand it to me.
Yeah, he sort of he pours some glasses and Britt holds a couple cups and hands you one. Melusine, make a history check, I guess, with advantage. Introduce me to your friends, Lady Swale. This, and he kind of turns to the rest of you sitting there, and to Zig. To Zig first was sort of a little, sort of make fun of a bow. I am D'Artagnan Trepancy. It is a pleasure to meet you, fellow traveler.
There it is.
I made a 21.
Okay. You recognize this guy. You've met him before, many years ago. It was during one of the large gatherings, like the first Frost Festival. He was a very good-looking young teenage boy when you were a teenager as well, before you left. You might have kissed him at the Frost Fair? I don't know, you can't remember. You were it was a long time ago. It's not like, I'm just saying, not, like young, make out behind the bleachers kind of kiss or something, Not a... And... Alright, we got Eldak back.
Yay.
I'm not drinking any of it, by the way.
Okay. So
neither am I.
I am.
what
So
what
am
brings
I.
you to the road north then? And he kind of looks away from Zig, who's apparently not gonna share his name or or anything. Just drink the wine.
Me? No, I'm not.
Just traveling.
Thanks for the wine, Asio, whatever the hell your name.
Tropasio.
Better under my
Pistachio.
bed.
Yeah, we're headed north to
Despacito.
Briefier.
Have you seen any dragons?
No, not something you want to run into on the road. I like that freedom. Nah, all the way to.
But I want to run into on the road. You haven't seen any. I don't really have anything.
I haven't heard tales of such or
You should
seen
talk
anything
to
on the road
Melissa.
all the way to Latour.
She's into this goofy shit that you're wearing, so she'll probably have a lot of common with you.
Hold my eyes at Zig. Shut up, Zig.
Yes. So you're just traveling north. Well, we are just traveling south. So, two people to share.
How long do you
share
plan to
some
stay in
wine with.
Terrafax?
Hmm?
How long do you plan to stay in Terrafax?
Just to fill our wagons, and then turn around and be back to the Vales. We don't. The city life is not for us. We prefer the open sky, the road, the kindness and friendliness of strangers.
What are the other two doing that he came with?
No, they're hanging out, drinking some of the wine or whatever.
Okay. Does it look like
They're not sitting there they're just kind of a little quieter. They're maybe a little younger. This guy seems to be the leader of the trio.
Mhm. I'm just trying to see if they're trying to sort of, scoping us out, trying to get a,
You
figure
can make
out
another
that,
insight
yeah.
check.
Do I recognize either of the other two?
No.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Why don't I not see? It's weird. My rolls are not working. Okay. For some reason, my my rolls were off the camera in the stream. They are definitely scoping out surreptitiously, taking inventory of the horses, the wagons, when they're not. They're very good at making eye contact and talking, but when they don't realize that you're watching them, they are, taking inventory with their
Actively,
eyes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. Now, you're not sure if that means they're planning anything. To be fair, you would somewhat be doing the same in a strange situation, too. Studying all the... You would know where to go to exit, where the threats are coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
It's just more in this case,
is a little
they
bit different
approached
nature.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
They approached us, which
immediately
sort of set off, I don't know about all this.
So I see you dress it our way too. Your friend says, and he says, he says something in a language none of you but Melusine understand. I don't think any of you speak. It's sort of it's a different human dialect that I don't think anybody else would speak.
What is it?
Because we don't have secret messaging. I'll just have to.
You
I'll just
can
do it.
text me.
That sounds like a lot of work. I can walk into the living. I can walk into the living room and tell you.
The living room and
Maybe
tell
I'll
me.
do that. All right, hold
You
on.
just say it here. Whichever.
Whisper.
God damn it. If it's undercommon, I know that shit.
It's not.
But it could be.
Overcommon. Wearing pants. It got really awkward.
Yeah, that would have been a little bit awkward, just maybe a little bit.
Nah, I get a tighty whitey emote. Let's go.
Hashtag banned. Hashtag banned.
He didn't just say one little thing.
Yeah, they're having a conversation.
Bunch of gibberish going on right now. By the way, this empty bottle that I just finished is about to be flying right by that guy's fire.
Fantastic.
Hopefully you don't miss.
I will. Wasn't that. Wasn't aged properly yet.
Yeah, they stole that shit too early.
So they have a brief exchange, and
Glad you were wearing pants.
Midway through that exchange, we killed the other two behind him, and so good luck to
You
that.
what?
I was like, we've killed the other two behind him.
Hamp.
Speaking of
they
hands,
have a-
He's a tavern brawler now. He killed them with the bottle they gave him.
an empty bottle goes whizzing by that guy's head and crashes on fire.
Okay. Yeah.
Or-
The other bottle's basically empty from pouring it, and he hurls it in there as well. It's kind of, as he comes over to you and hurls it in there. Kind of.
Basically,
Wouldn't want the king finding these now, would we?
No, we wouldn't.
why you think about them? Great.
Honestly, of course.
So they had a. So
That's
he
what you
had a
just said.
brief.
You said you came about him in trade. Were you buying? Would there possibly be a bounty? The king want to know that you stole something? And
And
The king himself
Belzinger,
does
and
not
I
have time to
think-
count all his wine or his coin. He doesn't know what flows right out of his pocket or falls to the bottom of it.
in Velzingara, and I say to him, "Don't mind. He's all talk."
So they
And
have.
this is how you got that man killed.
So they had a brief exchange, like in their language, and you recognize it as the Valzingarn language because you hear snippets of the words that Melusine
God, I can't tell what she
uses, and she breaks into it. Well, she breaks into it, and her, sometimes in her song or the song she sings for her battle songs, she'll sing in that language. So you've at least familiar with the sounds of it. So they have a brief exchange of that language, and then return to the conversation. Well, the wine is finished. Assume you don't want to roast marshmallows now, do you?
served your
Do you
purpose.
have marshmallows?
I'm just kidding.
Suddenly a pack of marshmallows up here.
All right. Well, we'll return to our camp then. Good luck on your travels north.
Thank you.
And you're on your
something
travels
else
south.
briefly in Valzingaran that Melusine recognizes sort of like a good luck, well wishes for the road kind of saying. And they disappear back into the forest, and you can hear the brush
Watch out for
tromping
dragons.
as they head down the trail.
Ogres, maybe hydras. What I've run into so far.
Eben, are they
Giant. Giant crocodiles.
Yeah, do I see them? Like I was watching them as they
I've
leave.
run
Do
into
they look like
crocodiles.
they've gone out of my sight lines?
Yeah, it sounded like you can hear twigs snapping, and that they're headed off down one of the trails that headed down toward the river.
Holes now.
For now, they are gone. They were taking a look at our camp, though, and looked like they were keeping a tally.
Honestly, Britt says, I'm not too worried. They wouldn't bother me. I see them often enough on the road. We have
Maybe not
good
you,
enough friendship.
but they do not know us.
Yeah, but they know this is my caravan.
They don't have to steal from your caravan.
This is true.
I climb a tree.
I can just go down there and burn all their wagons right now, and then
No, Zig, I would prefer you leave them alone. My sister might be down.
worried about them.
I, however, am not worried about my stock, and the saddlebags are sealed up tightly. But I would say maybe we leave someone awake.
Yeah, I'm gonna climb the tree.
I nominate you to go first. She looks at you, Eben.
It's fine. I'm already up a tree. The tree
Yes.
where the horses are.
That's sort of what she figured. Wake me when you need sleep, and she kind of like pulls up her
bedroll.
backpack and like a little blanket up on it, head down on it.
For watch.
I'm up as well. I'm sitting on the bottom of Eben's tree.
Okay. So you're gonna keep watch for a while and then switch off with someone?
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you gonna switch off with?
Well, Britt and I don't know, whoever else wants to pair with Britt, I guess.
Or waking up.
Or Andrew, do you want to do second so that you can watch with your sister?
Yeah.
Specialize.
I'll wake up back for the second half of watch, and
Dark
I'll wake
vision.
up Britt.
It's the most overpowered thing.
I burned.
Okay, so you rest. Nothing occurs in the night, and you switch off shifts. Waking up Britt, who kind of dusts herself off. She throws a couple more logs on the fire to brighten up the area, and kind of goes to lean against a tree, and you're waking, I guess, Eldak up
Eldak.
too.
Yeah.
You're staying up in the tree, Eben?
Yeah.
Alright. I'll be underneath.
As-
I'll call. If
Are you
something
gonna sleep?
happens.
You're sleeping up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever I get the chance, I will sleep in a tree.
I have a not
I
so
like being
super
up above.
sleep, a little restless.
Welcome to my world.
Okay. The second watch passes peacefully, and you guys get a full night's sleep. You're up pretty early, and by the time you guys are up, you guys give a peek over, and the wagons below are pulling out and heading south. Probably gonna come back up on the road you were on and a little ways down and go south. You get your camp broken and the horses rigged up and ready to go, and you continue your journey. Everything, you don't notice anything amiss in the camp. Nothing missing or anything. That you notice.
Hey, I'm in the tree. My stuff's alright. Let's see, if someone got up to a tree and stole from me, I'm like, yo, they get to keep it. That's impressive. You climbed past my friends up a tree, didn't wake me, and stole my stuff.
You travel then for about, you travel for another day, camping another night in the thick forest. At one point the next day, the road splits, not just an offshoot down toward the river, but the road begins to bend away into the trees and then splits. And there's another fort going to the northwest. And Britt identifies this as another road called the Summer Trail. And if you follow that, you'll end up in Wildwick or Keyford, she says. But you continue down the track.
Yo, you got that wild wick? Oh, yeah. Let's go. I need 10 gold worth.
Follow the road, make camp again in the woods the next night. Everyone's on alert. Eben has been hawking the skies, where he can see through the trees.
Dude, I said, just like Skyrim. Oh man, I'm walking through the world. I'm going to this town. Dragon. Fus Roda.
The next day you continue forward, and up ahead you see, as you're, it's pretty early morning and you've just been underway about an hour, and you see a small group of humanoid figures coming your direction around the bend in the road.
How many? Can I tell?
You think about 5.
Does it just look like a group of them with a cart, or just them by themselves?
Okay.
Have we seen a bunch of people coming towards us on this road?
Not many, no. Yeah, it's 4 individuals.
All the things.
It looks like 2 children, a man and a woman, and then like an older woman. They do not have a cart. They're carrying burlap sacks sort of on their backs, stuffed with you're not sure what. And they are sort of hurriedly, slowly, I guess, walking down the road in your direction. When they see all this band of horses, they stop for a moment and are sort of like, huddling and looking in your direction.
I would say we keep going. I don't at least immediately see a threat. None of them look like they had any sort of weapons or anything. It just
they look like peasants.
Have we gotten
farm
close
hands.
enough that they can hear us?
Not yet. But soon, if you wanted to talk to them.
As soon as they get within what I judge to be, I don't want to yell. Have you guys seen a dragon?
They're sort of looking up at you already, sort of trying to figure out, if you guys are friendly people on the road or what. Aye! That way! Back there! Destroyed, ruined tons of the farmhouses back there. Everyone's on the run. This is the woman of the band saying it, and the man's trying to like, gosh, we don't know who he is. Oh, shut up! There's roaming bands of marauders coming down from the burrows, taking over in the chaos. There's no room to live anymore. We had to flee.
Do you know how many?
What kind of screwed up countryside is this?
Now you're getting away from the cities.
Roving bands of marauders.
Dungeons and Dragons. Well, you're getting away from the cities now.
See any gelatinous
dice roller.
cubes?
I don't know what that is, but I mean, the man says we didn't actually see any dragons, but tales abound. People fleeing their farms in droves from Old Acorn Glen. When the raiders came in and burned the 3 houses next to ours, we decided it's not worth it. We'd leave with the kids.
It's not a dragon, it's raiders that come and burn houses.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
Okay.
All I know is I saw them. I don't know, dozen of them. Bigger than a man. Long bows. Faces like beasts.
I flip up my mask.
Yeah.
I flip up the helmet visor and I say like this.
But you don't look that beastish. Oh, not like that, no.
Oh,
I don't mean anything unkind. I'm saying that they're not humans. They're not even half humans.
Sounds like one.
It's a day for families.
You're not gonna run into any of my family here.
That's racist.
You won't be able to tell the difference.
That's
but,
what you think.
well, considering I won't know them, I don't think anybody else will.
I reach into my pouch and pull out a few silver from the pouch that I have and hand it to the older lady.
Okay. You give her some silver, he said.
Yeah.
You just assume they're
A
beggars.
lot, but it will help.
Thank you. If we can make it to Hind, then maybe they'll take us in. Oh, there'll be more behind us, no doubt.
We'll have to get through us.
Well, have fun.
Thank you again. And you continue on.
Yeah, I tell them to sort of follow our tracks, that it was safe this way through as much as they can.
Okay.
I figure have fun has to be about the most perplexing thing somebody
Have fun.
situation.
Do you think they have a chance?
Nope, they're dead.
It'll take a miracle.
They have no wagon, no horses.
2 small children.
This thing is awesome.
It's probably at most a couple days walk.
Look, it's cool.
Yeah.
In our next thing, we can be the children who lost their family, and because some travelers didn't help them, and they were killed in the woods by gypsies.
I saw those heroes on the road. They said they were off to fight the dragon, and then they all died.
The child is an oracle.
I've been playing a new character. I'm just saying. Maybe. All right.
AFK a minute. I gotta go make sure boy has no.
That's what I was gonna say. Can we take like a couple minute break and then?
5 minute break.
Yeah. Make sure he's in bed.
This dice roller is cool.
Did you just like download an app or whatever?
Yeah. It just rolls it.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen that before, but I don't remember where. So now we've got some marauders to deal with. Potentially, anyway.
What's gonna happen, right, is gonna be the Marauders are gonna attack us, right, and then the dragon's just gonna randomly swoop down. That's what's gonna happen. And we have to attack both of them if the dragon doesn't kill all the Marauders and steal our experience.
We just gotta get the final kill. It's like, which ones look weak, and we just start picking off the marauders that way.
Which one is limping and bloodied?
Yeah, which one was just cut by the dragon? That guy? Alright, I put 2 arrows into the hole that the dragon made for me. Thanks, dragon. What if that's the real twist? Dragon is actually real chill. It's the marauders that are real shit. Causing ruckus for the dragon.
Marauders are obviously shit. I'm getting a whole that move 7 Antonio Banderas and Viking.
The 13th Warrior?
Yeah.
I watched that shit like a week ago.
Yeah, I'm getting a whole 13th Warrior vibe here. Fireworm. Like just a bunch of orcs going around burning everything, and people are making up dragon stories for it.
Yeah, but they said it was green, which means it's. I think green is acid.
Acid. It's poison, I think.
Because I know black. I think
missed
black
this
is
part.
also acid, so that's why I'm.
Said what was green?
Well, she at least
Brit
told
said it was a
Elbeck
green dragon. She said it to all of us while we were going.
I wasn't paying it. I had a bunch of crap going on. Background house.
I feel you.
It has a poison breath. Green dragons do poisonous gas.
Great. It's always poison with us.
I was
Everywhere we
hoping
go.
it would be fire, and I could use
The Maw's resistance.
Blazing
Not
Gar.
the Gar's resistance.
I don't ever really have a need for this, so I'm gonna delete it, but it's cool that that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back as well. I'm gonna get a snack. Also, Mom's a mess because she's watching the ending of Punisher, and the last 2 episodes are real emotional.
Yeah. Is it
Yep.
like sort of flashbacks to him with his daughter? Is that what?
Yes, and the scenario that goes on is intense.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. Like I said, you need to watch it. It's really good through and through, in my opinion. Which I was surprised. Like, I liked every episode. Alright, I'll be back again.
premise.
Nothing. Still waiting.
Guys getting PUBG on the 12th.
The 12th of what? Of this month? Or this upcoming month? Do you know how much it's going to be?
I believe $29.90.
Maybe. Maybe not on the 12th exactly, but maybe more towards Christmas.
Right. Thank you. Guess I could turn on my camera.
Everybody back? Is Andrew here?
I didn't think he left, but apparently he did.
Yeah, I like the new layout. It
What's
looks a
your
little
plan,
better.
First, oat meat.
I don't know, do you have something you do or say a lot?
Potato.
No.
Yeah, but it can't just be a regular potato. It would have to be something about it.
Potato with a sword. I don't know.
Little robot into.
I think it's gonna be exclamation point bot-tato. Bo-tato.
I'm thinking if I get
It's a
One more
potato
week.
with 5K shaved into it.
one more week of watching, I'll be. It
Oh,
says it
shit.
takes a couple days after you for them to message you.
Cool. And then what happens?
Monetize your channel
Nice.
and subscribe to it.
Have you tried to resubscribe yet, Hans? Whatever you were.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Good.
I'm here.
Not working. I don't know why that's not working.
So, David's here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you continue on the road after meeting the family on the road, fleeing Old Acorn Glen. Another couple hours beyond, went up in the road. Eben, your keen eyes spot first a cart up ahead in the path. Guys can go ahead and roll perception checks.
Okay.
Nope, 14.
Sorry, I'm gonna have a bad one. I have rolled 2 natural 20s. This one's gotta be terrible.
Really? Oh no, that was yours. I was gonna say no, that ain't mine.
No, but I have
your
another
third
natural
night.
20.
That's your
I don't
third
see anything.
night.
The visor fell down in front of my face.
I
A
see
third
all of
one
the
for
things.
perception?
Third one tonight.
It's alright, wait till I roll this hot 1 on every attack for the first couple of rounds. My eyes are on point though today. I'm like in the forest, things are feeling good. I'm like, oh man, I see everything.
I don't have this people. Alright, well. I'm not gonna try to make icons for your wagons. Just I'm not that dedicated.
Missing Zig
I'm working on it.
and Brett, I guess.
Up ahead, yeah, you see this wagon. It's actually kind of catty corner on the angle of the road, and through the brush you can see a number of shapes up there of what appear to be large wolves, feeding on some dead horses from the wagon train. And that's coming. Probably should set that up ahead. Boom, boom, boom.
I immediately tell Britt to stop the horses, stop the wagon.
Stop the horses.
Stop
music.
the boat.
Okay.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay.
That's a lot. They don't have red around them. Maybe they're friendly.
That's right.
We could let Evan talk to them.
Or they're just gonna attack us.
I don't know
Yeah.
what the distance of that is. It's a certain distance for sure. Oh, that is not.
They're wards.
Okay.
I was gonna say.
As you spot them and you pull the horses up and you see them, look up and notice you and turn to you, and let's just go ahead and roll initiative right there. Whether or not they're going to attack you, you don't know, but I assume it's probably going to be a conversation at that point.
Yeah, going high, hot tonight.
Better than the shit I had earlier.
A 1 and a 5.
20.
They go before you, Zig.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
I rolled a 3.
Eben, you're the first to act.
It's so weird now because I'm like, wait, everything's in range now. It's very hard to be out of my range now. I'm gonna just hold until it looks like whichever one of them, I'm basically holding for if they push up aggressively, and then I'll fire on.
They are stopping, feeding on the horse, and sort of turning in your direction, snarling, large, unnatural eyes and fangs. They already look aggressive, I would say. Though they aren't.
So then,
Your instincts would tell you these are probably not friendly, though. They may scatter to show force. Who knows?
So then I'll take 2 shots onto this one, closer to the right, near the horse.
Okay.
$18 to hit.
That is a hit.
Nine.
Now,
for that one.
Which one is it?
This one.
For 1E1.
That one, yeah.
Okay.
Then take my second shot. Come on, work with me here.
Sense that I would be at the back because 1 for perception. I don't even know that.
22.
It's true.
That's also a hit.
So 18 points of damage to that guy. To that
Uh,
org. And then I'm just gonna. I'm basically on the front of the thing by Brit. I guess I'll stay there for now.
You're on the wagon itself, right?
Yeah, I'm basically
Okay.
next to Brit at this point, wherever she, you would be
Okay.
sitting on the wagon. I saw them moved up, and then took 2 shots, and I'm basically holding on top of the, the
I'm gonna
upper
move you a little
portion of
bit. I'm gonna move you like you guys are on the wagon here, and then they're sort of on
on horse,
row
on
of
the
3
front,
horses. Yeah. Okay. Your 2 arrows streak through there, sinking into the rear haunch of this thing, and it lets out a. These are unnaturally large wolves. They're quite burly and huge in the chest. They're I said larger than a man,
Oh,
but they
steroids.
they sit like chest high. They're not like they're bigger than normal.
Mhm. Yeah.
Did I just reverse the icon? I sort of moved it or something. Anyway. Alright, your turn is done.
Yep.
Britt is the next to go. She's like, keep them away from the horses. And she jumps down off of the wagon. And quickly rams like sort of a stake that may or may not hold the wagon team in place. Just quickly sort of jams into the ground, and then moves forward. 2, 3, 4, 5. How far can you move? You move 6 squares.
Yeah. 30 feet, unless she has some other stuff.
Yeah. She moves about to there. Evan, you look down and you realize that her short sword is sitting, hanging on the seat of the wagon. And
Wow.
you have a moment of like, oh fuck. And then with a whispered sort of word, some strange elven word, actually you
I was gonna say
Right.
it's not strange. I would.
Yeah. You can't quite make out what she's whispering from there. Well, I think, yeah, it's an elven word for thistle. And suddenly, the scabbard's just there, and the blade's in her hand. And that's her turn. Melusine.
All right, I'm going to move my horse over to the wagon. You said that there were hooks that we could hook them up to, right? Like
Sure, you could tie the
wrap
reins around
real
like
quick.
the edge, of the wagon itself. Yeah.
Is that my action or is that just my movement?
I'll give it to you as I'll give that to you as all your movement.
Okay.
To ride it over there and to do that.
All right, then. Can I dismount within that movement?
and dismounting. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
saying that's your movement. Dismounting, sort of like standing up, from being prone, like half your movement, then moving over there and like wrapping the reins around.
Okay, then I am going to pull out my longbow and shoot at this one
Okay.
over here. $11.
11 is a miss.
Second shot,
Bards.
18.
18 is a hit.
For 6. And then with my bonus action, I am going to lightly, not as loud as I typically do because I'm standing right next to pound out a inspiration to Eldak.
You're gonna
Okay.
pound one out.
Yeah.
Pound it out.
You know
And
it.
you're gonna be inspired after she does it. So you're in for a
Oh,
It
show.
was a show. It was a show. So.
It's a real quick show. It's a 6-second show.
Sorry, it was a bonus action.
Last
That's how
one
good she is, just
done.
on command. Yeah.
And that's my turn.
Okay.
She went to a different type of bard college.
Same one that
Eldak, you were inspired.
Leslie's sister went to.
I'm getting off my horse and going right up there with her.
Yeah, there's Bard colleges and there's like Bard school, like the B movie.
I fucking hate the B movie so much.
Well, I was thinking like like a B
Stupid
movie, like
meme.
it's like
Like, yeah. Really cheesy.
college frat movie, whatever.
Like, not the B, a B.
Yeah, Bard school. 4 young bards go off to Bard College. All the drinking and they can get into. All right. Eldak, you got off your horse and then use your bonus action to dash forward.
I think I have enough movement.
Okay.
Sure.
Are you on your horse? You gonna dismount?
No, I just mounted.
Okay, so half your movement to like dismount.
Okay. Then I'll use my bonus action to get up there.
Okay. You probably got a little more
hold.
movement then. Okay.
No, I'm gonna stay next to her, and then I'm gonna hold until my attack until something, until one of them get close.
Okay. Let's see. What is their movements?
Oh no.
Ooh, it's fast. With surprising speed. Let's see. Actually, let me use the ruler. Yep, that guy can close on you. That guy can also close on you. All right. So. Three wolves close on you. The other ones sort of fan out, moving, sort of stalking through the brush, possibly losing sight of some of them. And they fan out and move towards you. He is going to attack you with a bite, snarling teeth, gnashing at you. Two of them are going to try to bite you.
Battery's out of really.
Did you have enough? Because you can dash as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you can also make an attack simultaneously.
Wet, and that's why it's.
And you have an inspiration for anything you want.
22.
Maybe.
Okay.
Which includes armor. Or damage.
28.
All right. So this one leaps at you, biting and snarling a mass of teeth. 22 is going to probably be a hit.
Yeah, that hits.
You need to make a DC 13 strength saving throw, and you take 10 points of piercing damage.
Uncanny dodge that one.
Okay.
Put it to 5.
5. Okay.
Natural 20. 19.
Oh yeah. So you, it leaps in the air, and you just stand your ground. And you just put the saber like right through him, like almost using its own momentum against him. This is one that was already wounded, and it falls dead. And you sort of turn it aside and just aren't even knocked off your feet. This other one is also wounded, shot by an arrow by Melusine. Is also going to try to bite you. Using the opportunity to try to bite at your legs.
It just hits, so I'm going to use the inspiration.
Oh, okay. You're going to use inspiration. All right. Yep. That'll do it then. If your armor class is 16
or class is 17,
it automatically, no matter what you roll. So it would have anyway, because she has a +1 on her. So, so that's no damage there. It's biting at your legs. Quickly pull it aside. It's just snapping teeth with foam and drool coming out from this huge, unnaturally large wolf's head, snapping at you. This one tried to bite a Brit, which Do I not have her thing linked up to her sheet? Is that my problem?
I do not know.
Why did it have hit points? Okay, hold on one sec, because I don't know why her hit points aren't showing up. Give me 1 sec. Because she doesn't have hit points on her character sheet. Everything else on her sheet apparently I didn't fill out her hit point. So
That's not important.
yeah, I guess
That's
not.
cool. We'll keep her alive, and then you could just be like, well, she looked real bad, but she's doing okay.
For a demigod, she's been in hit point.
Lawrence, go to sleep.
Right. Sorry. Okay. So it bites at her. Right. Okay. Can't really stop that. Okay. Nine points of piercing damage is one. Nips and tears, tearing at her red shirt on her side, like tearing a large chunk out of it, and you can see some blood streaking down her side from a light wound there. All right. Zig.
Did she make the save as well?
Nope. No. Thank you. Fumbling around with my NPCs.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So she stays on her
More
feet.
strength than I have.
I feel you.
When your sister's strong.
I'm more
Okay.
nimble than her, though.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna bring the horse and try to run this one over.
Okay.
Probably not
Just
gonna
sort of
work.
Plow the Clydesdale forward. Make an animal handling check.
-1.
Next.
16.
Hey, it works.
All right. It's like snarling, kind of like trying to buck its head to the side, but you just like, God damn it! Like you hit it so hard that you're just like spurring it forward, and it seems to be more afraid of you than charging at a rabid wolf, and it charges crashing right into the wolf. You're trying to just crash it right into it, or are you trying to ride up to it and swing at it?
No, I'm knocking it. I'm crashing the horse right into it.
Okay. I will.
I think that's a real thing, Hans, by the way, for the horses.
It is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is though. But I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a strength save of some kind to stay on its feet, and we'll just call it that for now. Same as the warg's attack.
Big giant horse for something. Other than ass blisters.
But they look so good on you.
It makes it save, but I'm gonna say it takes let's call it 1d8 damage. We'll need to look up some more rules for mounted combat later. As Sir Zig has taken a
I can
page
tell
from
you what a
the
riding
Sarah's
horse
book.
does.
No,
You want me to roll 1d8?
Go ahead and roll a 1d8 for damage for it.
No.
Oh, 4. And then I'm jumping off.
Okay. Just make a quick acrobatics check as you leap down from the horse as it's tangled and crashing into this
Dude,
wolf.
a horse actually has a pretty good plus to hit. It's got a fucking +5 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a riding horse has a +5 to hit.
They're tough beasts.
I'm just saying, it's just crazy. That's pretty solid.
All right, so you land on your feet, planting your feet down, and that's pretty much your turn, though, right?
Wow.
I guess that's a waste then. Alright.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. The
you
rules,
use
so-
the horse to steer it into using its attack. You're now engaged with this thing.
That's
I
fine.
don't know if it was a waste.
Yeah, 4 damage is a waste of a turn.
Well, I don't know that you would have dismounted and made it to it at all.
Waste of a turn.
Well, you would have dismounted and walked halfway there.
Waste of a turn.
Right. Eben.
Oh man,
I would have
it's
shot
right
it with a
there.
crossbow.
Alright, I'm gonna take 2 shots at the one Brit is engaged with, and I'm gonna do sharpshooter. Let's try this.
Okay.
out. So whatever this roll is, -5.
That is
13.
barely a hit.
Okay.
Your armor class 13.
Is that one hurt at all? By the way.
That one is not.
Okay. Well, that's 19 on the first shot
Okay. Wow.
because the sharpshooter
plus
has
10
plus
per shot?
10. Yep, per shot. As long as I call it, it's plus 10 if I hit. So second shot. That's also a hit. 16.
So 25. It's a total of 35 damage.
Yep.
You can do sharpshooter on both shots on a turn?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
As long as I call it, I can do it on all of my attacks. It's just like I said, it's the -5.
2 arrows sink deeply into the side as louds at a loud, whelping. It's like sunk, completely deep into its gut inside between the lower ribs. Death One is badly wounded, very badly. And that's it.
Yeah, I have a good sight line from the top of the thing. Plus, she said to watch the horses, so if everyone's moving up, I might as well stay with the wagon.
All right. Way to go! She misses. Actually, though, I'm sorry, I forgot something else she's gonna do. I'll keep that roll, but she actually let's see, this is what I think it is. No, can't do that. Nope. All right, she missed. And see something real quick. So I gotta look at something really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, new people. Sorry for stalling the action here.
Things. Hey, it's fine.
What is animal handling? Is that wisdom or intelligence?
I think it's intelligence.
I have a cat here. Because I have a cat on my boot.
Oh, okay. I know why. That's why. Okay. So I'm gonna actually. Sorry, I'm learning this. So she actually did something slightly different. I'm gonna keep that roll though. So she extends her left hand out towards the wolf in front of her, and speaks some sort of arcane something in Elven, and just Aldak, you feel the air sort of cool around you, and a sort of a burst of numbing frost covers the wolf. It has to make a saving throw. Normal roll.
Oh,
And that
Does not
fails. So it takes 2 damage. It's slowed and covered with this frost over its whole body, and then on her strike she gets advantage. So I'm gonna roll again normally. That's why I said I was.
Mhm.
Plus, I set all this stuff up like months ago, so I don't. Sorry.
Way better.
Much better.
All right, there we go. All right, with it slow from the front, she just like digs the sword into its side and finishes one off. All right, Melusine.
All right, I am going to shoot this one with my longbow.
Just miss.
13, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
just
misses.
13. Yep, that's a miss.
No, it hits.
For 8.
All right, which one? The one by Zig?
The one, nope, in the middle.
further back.
Okay.
And then I am going to I can't see anything. It's mine. It's so tiny. I am going to
Does your shirt say Johnny Football? Just check. It's funny
Birthday
now.
Present from a couple years ago.
Say it's funny now.
Yeah.
I am
Probably
going
didn't see
to
probably didn't see a lot of
again.
weird time
Laugh
or
at me.
recently.
I
Very
am
comfortable
going
shirt.
to cast a
Dane
bardic
has the
inspiration
best
on
on.
Zig. this
On
time.
Zig? Okay.
On Zig. And then I'm going to hold on, I get cat butt in my face. Cat. Thank you. Then I am going to use my movement to go over to the loose horse that Eldak left and see if I can get it to come back over towards the wagon.
Okay. All right, so you grab the reins and try to corral that other horse that's
Mhm.
there.
I ain't got time for horses.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
All right, Eldak.
I'm attacking this one.
Holy shit.
26. Thank God for that sneak attack with that real good 1 on my basic attack.
Wow. All right. So 26 damage this one. All right. Ooh, it's huge. Yeah, the rapier sinks deep into its side, just about halfway down. A rivulet of blood just up the well on the blade, just shooting out. It's near mortally wounded from that attack. And that's it for you?
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right. This one's going to desperately try to bite you since you just nearly killed it.
Yep.
That's a hit.
That's a hit. Actually, let's check some real quick. Nope. Okay. Yep. You take
Oh, candy dodge.
4 points of damage. As it bites you, but you parry most of the blow. Just take some bruise and bumps and stay on your feet. From the woods. Let's see. Let's just check the rulers. It'll be easier. Yep, we're good. They can all close in. I'm just gonna move this one off to the side.
Yeah, they move the ones that are dead, and so that the other ones just.
And they're just now all of them upon you, swarming you. So looks like you get another bite attack. One of them had to move too far, and it just barely got there. But you get another bite attack on you, Eldak.
Jesus Christ. Yep.
AC
Barely
went up,
hitting.
didn't matter.
6 points. Another attack on a Brit. Brit, with a wave of her left hand, as it looks like it's diving in for a hit, waves her hand, and a shimmering shield of energy sort of seems to fend the wolf just enough so she can dodge out of the way. You've seen the Silent Man use something similar to this before. When he protected and raised your armor class with a reaction. Zig. 3 wolves bearing down on you here. Wolfs.
All them
Let's
wolves.
do it, wolves.
Let's go, puppies. God damn,
Crits don't matter, remember?
Crits don't matter.
doesn't matter.
What's your armor class? Your
Highest
armor class
armor
is
class.
19.
What's your armor class?
20.
Yeah, so only two of those hits. Normal hits. So you take 19 points of piercing damage. I mean, I can't. I'm not rolling secret dice over here. I don't know what. As 3 of them just, it's too much to fend off all at once. And then it's going to be your turn directly after.
Dropping the shield because it doesn't do a goddamn thing.
Hey, you stopped one of the attacks.
Which I would have stopped without it. So it doesn't do a goddamn.
No, maybe the wolf with the shield
I'm
until she
attacking
fought
this
back.
one here.
Okay. That's the hit.
Push attack. Sending it
Okay.
into the other one that's by Elden.
Okay. So 8, 9. Is that 9 total damage? Well, that
need to
one was
change my
already
phone.
heavily wounded by Eldak, who just stabbed in his side, a gout of blood
That
sticking
one,
up. You
yep.
slam it with your hammer, just put your hammer across like this, drop your shield, and just thrust it forward, crashing the other one. I'm gonna give the other one make a dex check. As the body of this warg just flies into it. That's enough to keep on its feet, but this one is dead, and you get 1d4 plus 1. You get 2 temporary hit points as the necklace amulet of blood starts to glow faintly. That's 1 attack. That's a hit. Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Back to the top of the round then, Eben.
I can see this one, right? Like it's not.
Yes.
Completely covered?
It's coming out of the brush at Brit's side.
So I'm gonna take my next 2 shots at him. Just regular shots this time. 25.
That's a hit.
7. Second shot.
Also hit. $16 points.
Yeah, that's the reason why
Damage
Percy
down.
shoots like 3 times and then does like a shit ton of damage. There's like
Yeah.
upwards of like 30, 40 points of damage.
The sharpshooter, yeah.
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 All right, you sink 2 more longbow shots into this one, or this is the first hit on this one, but 2 more longbow hits, arrows streaking across with sickening thud. Just this one's wounded pretty badly from that. Anything else?
No, I'm just staying up here.
Let's see. Brit will. She's kind of got 2 there. She's going to turn and attack the one that's closing in on Eldak's blind spot. Once again, extending her hand out and sort of shooting out this blast of frost across the wolf. It gets another con save. That's no. Oh, actually, it's not an advantage for her. I did it wrong, but that's okay. I won't do it again. I misread that. All right, but she just gets a regular attack. That's the hit. And that's 12 points of piercing damage. All right. That's her turn. Melusine.
I am going to holler out, "Close your eyes, boys," and I'm going to
Yeah, suck it, Brit. Get
Sounding
blinded or
good.
whatever.
on my drum and cast Hypnotic Pattern
Okay.
at this section, like over here. So it's not going to get the one furthest next to Brit. It won't get this one.
What about?
If they're not looking, it doesn't affect them.
Roll perception to see if you've heard her. If not, your ass is blind.
No, you're just charmed and like asleep on your feet.
Hey, what's
No
up,
way
Uber?
that could go
Draw me
wrong.
where it's a 30-foot cube. Go ahead and draw me sort of where you're doing it.
It's hard to draw with.
You can use the little draw shape.
use the
little
little-
paintbrush.
There it is. There it is. Okay. Yeah, but like right behind them. So like starting. Yeah, except this has got to be over. God dang it. See, I suck at drawing. Over a little more, like these people's. So not her. Yeah.
So you're putting it over those guys.
Yeah.
Draw another red.
Okay.
I need all of these rectangles.
How do you?
All right.
Now how do you erase?
You're putting them inside the 30-foot cube.
Yeah. Because I can't do it otherwise, can I?
Okay.
Can I do it right in front of them and not get all of them?
They're pretty tangled
I
up
was
in
gonna
there.
say that.
Exactly. They're
it's
pretty
them.
tangled. So
That's
All
gotta
right.
be a rough
So,
one.
4 wolves have to make. What's the DC?
15.
All right. Only 15?
I'm
Did you up your
still-
charisma?
I'm still 7. I haven't gotten to do anything yet.
And it's what kind of save?
Wisdom.
Oh shit.
What's it do?
It charms them, and they're basically like they're incapacitated.
Does it put people to sleep, or is it just a charm?
It's a charm, and it incapacitates them.
Because if it's a sleep type thing, Andrew, you are fine. And if it's charm,
There it
you
is
have
in the-
advantage.
Yeah.
There's the thing in there, in the chat box.
That's
It's a charm effect. Zig and Eldak, you must also make a saving
I
throw.
have.
You have advantage.
I'm charmed. Thanks, Melson.
Zig,
Close your eyes.
suddenly
I
see a
closed
wave
your
of
I'm just gonna sit this one out.
patterns. The ground sort of
text me when it's
lurches, and
done.
there's colors just erupting from the ground in a psychedelic pattern,
Christ,
and
boy.
everything sort of doesn't really go black. You just sort of lose sense of time, looking at these colors bending. What's happening? All the wolves are also incapacitated except for this one.
And then I holler, Britt, wake your brother up!
As everybody suddenly is taking a real hard nap.
So Eldak's turn is Eldak's turn is wait, who did I skip?
Is there saves or
So
is
you're
it
done,
just
are you done, Melusine?
plus there?
No, I'm going to cast a heal on Elda. Healing word.
Okay.
You know what? I'm sick of all the fighting here. Ugh, no more.
So go ahead and roll your your
I'm
word.
just getting to it. 8 Elda.
So you get 8 back, Eldak.
Good.
And then you are in a daze here.
Taking a sweet nap.
I have not used my movement. 10, but I can't.
Go ahead and use your movement. Okay. I'm going for the wolf attacking Brit ahead of your movement. Oh, ouch.
God damn it! I can't. How do I get rid of the boxes?
It's. Oh, you want me to get rid of the boxes?
Yes, get rid of the boxes.
I may have just deleted a wolf. I don't remember.
No, it didn't look like it.
No.
Oh, a
no,
dead
no,
one,
no.
maybe. A
A
dead
dead
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
think
I
so.
think it's just a dead one.
Yeah, there
The
was
one
a
that
dead
got
one
pushed
right.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them.
I want to lose that sweet XP. All right.
Hey, hold on.
And she's got to make a wisdom saving throw. Why do I keep closing your character sheet?
Oh.
And she's knocked to the ground by this wolf, knocking her prone. It's then Zig's turn, but Zig is in a stupor.
I'm gonna play some room.
And Boss playing RimWorld? Did we lose Bot?
We did not lose bot.
For this fight, you
He's just
did.
annoyed at me.
I was rolling 5s anyway, so didn't.
Before the next round begins, you hear a sharp sort of whistling sound, and Eben, you see a figure. I'll get you a little icon. That's why I keep closing it, because I can't. It's not out of your range, but it's fairly distant. It whistles loudly. It's kind of at the top there. I'm going to put it down closer to the thing so you can see it. But whistles loudly. It seems to be sitting on top of one of the wargs, a large humanoid figure. With a sharp whistle, the other warg uses its movement to move away. I'll just do it real quick. Well, it moves back to it, actually. Okay.
Would she
and
get
then
an
the
attack
next
of
turn begins.
opportunity, but at like disadvantage because it's disengaged from her?
She's not. Yeah, she could. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, she could try that.
Basically, that's why I figured it'd be a disadvantage since she was knocked down.
Why don't you ask me now? Now you don't ask me. Now you don't ask. You just do. Yeah, that's a miss. Okay.
Can I still see that warg?
Yeah,
just
it's
try to
headed for the
run?
brush. This guy's
I'm
a little
gonna-
further up in the trees.
I'm
gonna put him
gonna
back a
shoot that
little further, but I
warg.
want
and
you to
just
see
try
him.
to escape.
Yep.
Well, it's a miss. Second shot. That's a hit. Classic colossal damage, always a one. So 10 points for the
10
warg
points?
that's trying to escape.
Okay. Another arrow in the haunches, but it keeps limping off, one leg a little lame. Running away. Britt gets up to her feet. Turns to look and notices the figure along with you who see that.
Fuck is this badass guy? Holy shit!
These are his fucking wargs.
What?
And
He's got like a
then-
samurai's outfit.
He just whistled for them to leave, but these fuckers were napping, so they didn't go.
And then then she looks notices that, but then looks away, sees the rest of his, goes over and Eldak, brother, wake up. Technically,
It's just they went
yeah,
to shit.
action say creature ever super, so she uses her action for that. You suddenly all you can just remember lights and patterns, and then you sit up from the ground.
God damn it.
Melusine, your turn.
You look, Eldak, you look up to see face, just like warg faces right by you. It's like,
We were cuddling. They're just dogs.
that one I think
Oh! Alright, I'm gonna since she woke up Eldog, I'm gonna shake Zig awake. And then I'm quickly gonna wake up Zig, and then I'm gonna quickly from him so he doesn't-
and then I run away from him.
I gotta go.
All right, so Zig, you also are awoken. Eldak.
All right, question. Right.
Or should I stop playing
Mhm.
RimWorld?
They are unaware. Right.
You can kill them if they're
You
sleeping.
can kill-
I'm gonna attack this one in front of me.
you can murder
I mean, I think there's a rule about an automatic. It would at least be an automatic critical sneak attack.
Yeah.
But for the sake of argument, we'll say that you can dispose of them while they're sleeping. No. So you just want to know what it is, don't you?
I was just curious, but that's fine. That's 28 points of damage, just that.
That's not even with a critical, though.
40?
Sneak
Oh,
attack
30?
critical?
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, you roll sneak
Fuck
attack
me.
because it's a rolling. I almost forgot about that too. Damn, 50.
Yeah.
That
You
thing
do
got
enough to
fucked on.
kill one of them in one round anyway, so you...
That's 50 points of damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why sneak attack's so strong because you actually get to roll.
You essentially just, like,
extra.
lift its head slightly up into the thing and just run the dagger along its throat, just open its throat with a gush of blood pouring out and kill it.
That'd be
And you
fucking
can...
brutal and sad.
That's all I can
Yeah, but what you gonna do? All right.
Oh no, I agree. I'm just saying. It's just
These
fucking
figures are
illegal.
retreating into the woods. Evan, if you want to take one more shot because of your sharpshooter, even though they have nearly full cover, you can still manage to take a shot at that range. with
I
the
will
tree
take
cover.
it at
Through
the
the
one
trees.
that's hurt. Still,
This is like over the tree, through the
the woods,
the branches.
To go.
Yeah.
Natural 20. Goodbye. Goodbye,
Shit.
fucking
You're
wolf.
dead.
8, 5 plus technically plus damage.
Yeah, they had their movement for another round, and double move away, but it's not enough to get out of your range. Yeah, that one that was running away is dead. You just hear, "Oh!" and you know you felled your quarry, even though you can't even see it behind the brush.
Gotcha.
We'll take a second shot at the figure, or
Fuck it. We're doing it live. This is a sharpshooter shot. If I
Lord,
miss him,
go to
then I miss
bed.
him. But if I hit
Oh
him,
my god.
Now.
I hit this motherfucker.
but it's -5 off that, or 10.
Minus
That's a hit.
5.
It's -5.
That's a hit.
So this dude thinks he's good, watches his thing get hit, and then takes 15 points of damage.
All right. After that, they have disappeared out of range. Though he's got an arrow lodged in him somewhere. The rest of the wargs are dealt with.
R.I.P. works. R.I.P.
And you guys are
What the fuck happened?
back up.
Why was I charmed? What happened?
Can't hear you.
You guys are back up.
Why was I charmed? Who did it? What happened?
I have no clue.
I'm just gonna look at Zig.
There's a strange figure that appeared in the woods. Britt offers.
Throwing Hamp at Mellison.
All right.
Well, I guess we got a
Are you
person.
throwing it at Ellison for sure, or wasn't sure if that was a for real thing? Okay,
You
Can
still
be.
hurt Eldak?
pretty good roll.
A little bit.
Alright, so after everything is done, I'll walk up to the siblings and I'll put my hand on both of them and cast 2 cure wounds onto 1 for each.
If you do it at a higher level, you do it.
If I do it at a higher level, I can still only do 1 person.
Can you?
So that's you, Eldak,
Yeah, okay.
9, and then
I'm full.
11 to Britt.
Okay. Thank you,
I'm healthy.
Evan.
Both of those would have filled me.
Do you want one? Or are you good?
I'm good. Quarters of my life. Alright,
What are you at? What's your HP?
5 of them.
You can also use your stuff if you want to. So, all right.
Die it up.
Oh, you can also use your second wind or whatever too. You can't use that once per short rest.
Isn't everything short
Combat
rest, right?
move.
Well, you have to say we're short resting or whatever.
Are we
too.
short
Oh, we
I
can.
figure we probably
Yeah, I see what you're
could.
saying. Yeah. Well, you have to take a short rest to use a hit dice. So that was my point.
Yeah,
If you
that's-
could use it, you're gonna get it back anyway. So, right, you do get it back on the short rest, right?
Yeah, you get half back, so if he only used 1, he would get it back.
Can you use it now? Then you could use hit dice if you need to.
It's I think
sure
it's
we
a
looked
D10
this
as
up.
well.
Look
It's
it up
what's
every
your
time.
fighter
D10 plus your
level.
fighter level.
Well,
After I heal them, I basically wanna take a look at the wards.
Okay. They've got nearly black fur, somewhat patchy with dark brown, large, oversized, dire wolves or wargs. Are you like trying to discern more about them than that with your
And
something?
Elda said, I whisper, sorry about that.
Yeah, since I've probably
Thumbs
never
up.
seen these
Not
things
big,
before, I'm
but-
just sort of taking a look at like their, their claws, their teeth, like the way their eyes look, that type of,
Yeah, they're
get a
they're
better
much bigger than
look at
normal wolves.
thing that I may not have ever run into before, so might as well. And you said their pelts look like thick.
Yeah, they're thick, a little bit matted, but yeah, it's black or brown in patches. Very dark in color.
Well,
Hey,
if
Britt.
we're resting, I'm gonna attempt to like skin the pelt off of one of them that looks like it's in the best condition.
Okay, give me a survival check, I guess.
Britt, where'd you learn to do that?
Fucking move.
That ice
I'd love to do that.
cold thing. I've never seen it before.
From a weapon master from Shao Quan.
Natural 20.
my-
I have a sweet ward pelt,
Yeah, you have-
motherfuckers.
You have a
Damn it,
pristine ward pelt.
All right, I'll put that in my thing. Pristine ward pelt.
I studied under a weapon master from Shaquan for a number of years.
I'm collecting a.
Warg head. There you go. Okay.
He's gotta get some head.
I didn't get to fight him for some reason, so I might as well take something to remember it. by.
You killed one.
Got to fight him.
You killed one. You make it a point to figure out which one's the one you killed and take its head.
I could have killed more.
You
Except for
totally
some
killed
reason.
the two that were sound asleep in front of you.
I
Hans,
was-
how
You killed 3.
Struck dumb in the middle of a fight.
I woke you up. And then
Hans,
ran
how
away.
much of the guy did I see? Did I just see a figure, or did I make anything out so that I could tell the group? I guess is what I'm trying to figure out.
Tell the what?
Tell
Tell the group.
How much of
He was a
the
humanoid
guy-
figure, a bit larger than a man, armored with rough metal armor. A sort of a goblinoid type face.
just so I know basically what I'm telling the group versus
He
versus,
had
like, the
orangish,
picture.
like an orangish skin tone on his face, with the nose actually fading to a little bit more of a bluish color.
Okay. So has anyone seen a humanoid creature that has orangish skin?
I sure as hell haven't.
These were
Can't say
his
that I ever
wards.
have.
He tried to call them back, but Melison's pattern kept them.
Elbow Elder Evan. Damn it! I did it again. I haven't done that.
Mhm.
Elbow Evan in
So
the belly.
Eldak, you just get elbowed because she thinks you're talking about it. You're like, what the fuck?
Elbowed you in the belly, sir.
You can make anybody who wants to, I guess, could make a nature check, I guess.
I have never seen.
Would
it
I?
before in my life.
Well, I said I didn't know, so I'll just leave it to everyone else.
Okay.
20.
You know these orange creatures.
Shot in the dark. I don't know.
You heard something.
They might be, given the description he gave and the fact that they were appeared to be with wargs, they could be hobgoblins, which are a more warlike and organized form of, like, sort of a bigger goblin, part of the same sort of wider racial as goblins, but bigger and more warlike. They are while not altogether highly intelligent, they can be quite organized into bandit or even armies, bandit groups or even armies.
All right, so he says that, and I say these were his wargs. He tried to call them. He whistled, and that's only the one that was out of range could react and try to get away. But I know I killed it.
Could mean a couple things. That he was trying to either just pull them back to save them, or stop them from attacking us because he was friendly.
He didn't make an attempt to come here to call us off.
Yeah, I agree.
He could have easily have done this. And from the looks of up ahead, whoever's cart that was, I don't think they necessarily got the same courtesy.
Yep.
Or came out of that. Can I also go up there and check?
Yep. So
how heavy do these wargs look, by the way?
Oh, they're a good few hundred pounds. They're big. They stand almost like shoulder height. Certainly with you.
Because I was gonna say I'd go get the one in the woods, but I don't know if I'd actually be able to. Or at least I'd be dragging the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
I just have normal, regular people strength.
So you approach and check out the wagon.
Yeah, I'm looking for any bodies, like human. If these wargs tore into people, not just this horse that I saw them eating.
There is no human bodies here. There's quite a few footprints scattered around the area. There is the team of 2 horses that were pulling this wagon have been slaughtered and appear to have been fed on by the wargs. Probably what they were feeding on when you arrived.
Do they look like they have wounds outside of, like claws and bites?
Yes, there is several longbow arrows that are not yours. One in the horse and several others strewn about the area.
I guess I'll check the cart for anything just in case.
It appears whatever in here has been taken. There's a couple smashed boxes and crates of what might have been belonging a strewn band of just like clothes, like someone went through something and just tore the stuff out of it, looking for anything valuable and scattered around the area. But anything of value seems to have been taken.
Gotcha. How heavy does this wagon look? Because my guess is, could a group of us push it out of the road, or would we need to take the horses?
Yeah, a group of you could push it out of the road.
Okay. So after I check all that, I'll head back and then let them know. It lets me move my character.
So, take a sort of short rest while you're doing this, I guess, because we were taking it, right?
Yeah, since they were resting, I skinned the warg and then checked the other wagon and such.
Okay.
Yeah. Those horses were shot at from longbows. I don't know if they were the people we ran into, if those were this belonged to them, but anybody who was here probably did not stand a chance with the long-range fire, plus those wargs.
Normal peasants stand a chance against those wargs.
But yeah, these were bad creatures.
Britt looks frustrated as you're sort of assessing the situation. This is why I can't get anything through. Raiders everywhere. Talk of dragons. It's impossible to make coin. There better really be a dragon.
What I was thinking. Only been. I don't know. I was. I have no idea what time it is. Or day.
You've been on the road like 3 days. You spent the first night in the inn, and then the next night by the Vals and Garin, by the valley with the
Drinking beer, drinking wine.
camp. And then the next night you camped another night in the woods, and this is the third day.
I could have been standing
Fourth
there like
day.
an idiot for a month. I don't know.
Oh, come on.
You
Woody,
don't
you're
sense
like
that you
standing
lost
for all
that
the
much time.
He's just sad.
You've experienced this sensation several times now.
Not for me. Not for me.
I thought at least once, maybe, but no, I know once.
No, not
You.
him.
We've only been
once.
charmed that one time by the rune dude.
Dickhead, I
paralyzed
shot and he
before.
didn't flinch.
I've been paralyzed before, as well as that one time.
Yeah,
I
that was
seem
rough.
to be struck by you.
But,
Yeah.
well, I guess I also had a voice in my head. That stuff.
You've had a lot of weird shit
It
going
wasn't
on.
me either.
Stig, you'll bring the backpacks out to the trail when they're all asleep, yes? Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I will do that.
You right? You right?
You right, me. Voice in my head.
I also let them know we'll have to move that cart if we want to get through here as well.
Yeah, I'll help. I'll push.
Yeah, you push the cart out of the roadway.
I'll light it on fire.
Let's not.
Are you really going to light it on fire?
We are surrounded by a forest. We will create
There's
a lot more.
also no reason to destroy it. You could come back for it later. I suppose if we wanted to ride in the wagons, we could team the horses to it too. It's not worth the trouble. We've got to get what we came for and hope we can find this dragon, if it exists.
Well, I'm a little bit. I've never thought I'd say this, but I'm surprisingly Miss Waters, who may be a bit closer than this dragon is.
Well, they're out there.
Got like 3
Sorry,
breaking
I
up.
don't know.
I got it.
You were fine. I got you.
More, yeah.
No, I'm
More
saying
worried about
that
the
I'm
Marauders.
surprisingly more worried about the Marauders, who seem to be right ahead of us potentially,
Oh.
versus the dragon who is yet to encounter.
I'm not worried about the Marauders. I'm worried about our bard hypnotizing me in the middle of a fight.
I'm like, understand.
Active creatures.
Who then get crits on the people then real for real.
So you push the wagon out of the roadway, clear the path, stop Zig from lighting it on fire,
Yeah.
and are going to continue.
Yeah.
You continue a is down, traveling several more hours. The forests begin to open up a little bit, just lightening up a bit as the road continues. Occasionally, you can catch glimpses of by the road off to your left. And after several hours, small, there's not a town or anything, but like small, lone abandoned houses, some of which look partially burned. And then,
Can I? Do I see
Yep.
any like ward tracks?
sure, make a survival check.
If it lets me click survival.
And in the forest, I don't remember how that works anymore. With the new, I had to look up the new Ranger rules. If you had any bonuses
No,
on that.
that's if they're like a beast or something like that, I believe.
For the Isle Warden, Codex of the Isle Warden, did I say on coastal forests or forests
Hang
and
on.
coasts?
The Isle Warden boon is permanent advantage on survival checks in coastal and jungle.
Oh, okay, jungle. All right, cool. Specific. Okay.
15.
Yeah, there are ward tracks in the area. It's hard to get a. Well, I guess technically with yours you can actually count. There's a number of different multiple wargs.
Well,
also
are they beasts?
rooted footprints. They are beasts.
Oh, they are beasts? I didn't realize wards were beasts. Okay. So yeah, then I wouldn't have an idea of that.
Oh, you should have got a bonus damage on them. Well, I guess technically they're a monstrosity.
Well, that's why I wasn't sure. I figured if it
I
was
don't know, it
a
seems-
warg, it was.
Yeah, it seems like a
Man,
splitting a hair there.
Well,
but,
I would have been doing 4 more damage each shot.
Yeah.
So it would have been.
Yeah, well,
Could've
you're
been
right.
important.
They are technically a monstrosity, but it seems a little odd to me. But yes, you do see signs of them, and I think these places have also maybe been raided by the same. There's small side roads and things that must go off to other settlements. But rather than check everyone, you continue forward. And eventually, as the forest lightens quite a bit, you can see up ahead there's a crossroads with a small road heading inland to the main farmlands of Acorn Glen. And at this crossroad, there's an inn ahead.
Is it still running?
A sign.
says fuck off.
Go away, we're not home. Take
If
our shit.
Hobgoblin, we're not here. If normal, then we're open.
A sign in advance of it lets you know this is the last well in Eldak. Who am I missing?
Britt?
Britt. Yeah.
Do we see any signs of life here?
Hold on one sec. Try just checking my getting the map a little better there. Can't really see him on the stream. Yeah. The stream map's a little busted, but that's okay.
Our map.
It's actually strangely quiet. There you don't see any people around. There are some herd animals, as Zig pointed out, there that you see in the area.
Do they look
in
taken
the
care
closer
of,
by.
or do they look like they've...
Yes, this
not
doesn't
have
look
food?
abandoned. It just
Okay.
looks quiet outside. There is a little stream of smoke coming out of the chimney from the inn.
And how far away was this from where some of the attacks we passed by were?
It's
Roughly?
been several hours back, but not that far relatively.
So either they've somehow missed this place, or they've left it alone.
Or they're in cahoots with them.
That's what we want. Well, that's...
Cahoots!
When you leave it alone,
Cahoots!
it's certainly possibilities. So we should maybe be cautious
I
when
would
heading
never
to
do
this place.
anything like that to you.
I asked Britt if she's ever been here.
I've passed by her a number of times, stopped in for a drink a time or two. It's a small Just a sort of a roadside place. They have a few rooms.
Do you know
can stay the night in.
people who work here
Water
at all?
here.
Like, would you be able to recognize them?
That's a good question. I think so. I can't recall their names, but I remember it's a couple that lives here, I believe. Older gentleman with a balding head and sort of a long face. I can't remember his name, but I've stopped and watered the horses here at the well. It's a little bit safer than taking them all the way down to the river. There's a lot of thorn patches and so forth.
If you had a guess, when was the last time you stopped at this place?
I didn't stop at all on my way down here to get to Terrafex. I just sort of blew through and camped as seldom as I could with one of my fast carriages.
But would it have been recently enough where potentially there couldn't be a new owner?
I would say probably not. It may have been several months, but...
Alright. Well, you'll have to sort of point out if these aren't the people, just in case there's people, maybe taking over. Then again, if there are hobgoblins, they'll be orange, and I think we'll kind of know immediately.
Okay.
Welcome to my inn. I'm like, nope. I'm good.
Okay.
This just makes me think of the Hateful Eight scenario.
Oh my god.
I have seen that movie.
Oh,
it's not snowing, though.
Yeah.
It's
not
really
good.
It's on
fell
Netflix.
asleep. I fell asleep during.
Yeah, I thought it was terrible. I watched
I
the whole
liked it.
thing, but...
It's lengthy.
I don't like his directing. It's just... He thinks he's being all esoteric. It just ends up being people killing each other for no real reason, and, like, just this over-the-top racism and stuff.
Those are his
Like all his stuff.
People died at the end. Michael Jackson was, like, bleeding.
Yeah.
He got shot in the nuts.
Yeah, and the balding guy from Vice Principal alive yet.
So, guys are gonna go up to the inn,
Yeah, we're gonna
or
check it
take
out,
the road
but-
to the east. Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't know. Britt, your call. Stop by or keep moving. As Zig on a horse just gallops.
Yeah, we could probably water the horses here.
Well,
Yeah, we probably could water the horses here. Let's make it a quick stop.
Anybody home?
And you sort of come up, pulling the wagons up. Zig dismounts his horse by the well, and you go in. You go in the front door.
Yeah.
Okay.
A bunch of arrows shoot you in the chest, but luckily these are peasants and none of them hit.
Hold on now. Okay, so one thing we gotta get better at is not just moving our guys into dark areas and like all over the map while I'm trying to do stuff. Just saying, because we had, especially when I do the dynamic. I'm gonna put it back on where you can't move your guy into the darkness that you had last time. I'm trying to set up more dynamic lighting maps, and this isn't one. But if you do that on a map where there.
Sorry, cat. Shit, sorry, cats.
What you do to the cat? Leave the kitty alone.
They fell off the back of my seat.
Classic cat maneuver.
I don't have all my peasants.
I moved. I went to rearrange and scared one of them, and he scampered, and then the back goes like that. So they both fell.
See, if you do that on a map where I have the dynamic lighting set up, you're going to reveal all of the stuff. No, you can. I was going to turn that on because last time it was frustrating when you couldn't move your own guys around and stuff.
Mhm.
She's got pointy boobs.
I don't know, just
She's
grabbing
got
another
pointy
picture.
boobs.
Have a background.
Hey,
It's not a
girl.
that's not a
Look at
normal
that
one.
pointed
I'm grabbing random ones off the little
These are great.
I have some regular
Those
ones
bigger.
there,
What
but
are they? They look like they're holding giant footballs.
they're holding like serving tables.
Oh,
Let's see.
You're gonna be obsessed that there's something weird about it. I don't.
oh, I couldn't tell what was going on. I wasn't that
I don't
zoomed.
see the pointy boobs.
All right, so you enter and there's an innkeep with sort of a long face, and sort of a balding head with just a little ring of scruffled hair. He's behind the counter and he's like staring at you as you come in.
I'm helping Britt like tie up the horses.
Yeah, you guys are
and bring
tying
them
up
to
the
well
He
and
ran off
stuff.
ahead and tying off the horses.
He just left the
Where's-
giant horse outside the door.
Where's all the goblins, Baldy?
Sorry, 1 sec here.
Yes, insult him and then ask for information.
Kyle.
It's just so funny. Hey, fuckface, tell me about things.
Hey,
like-
fuck face.
It's like, well, what
like
would
his
you like to
normal
know,
introduction.
sir? You speak my type of language. It's like,
Oh, I knew I had some more. Okay, sorry, I knew I had more.
More
like
people's-
bar page. I did. I knew I did.
I did. I did.
I made a whole bunch of these people.
That guy looks awesome. He looks like Jack Black.
He's in the back. It's just like,
I got a better barkeep too. I knew I had some good ones.
The color shading on the apron makes it look like he has like a pouch on his, above the other pouch,
God piece.
and that too. Yeah.
Gotta think of the time period.
What, you mean you don't all have them?
Oh, I don't know. God piece.
Ouch. Isn't that
Why do you
like
think
the
that horse
cup?
ride was so
Alright.
rough?
At what?
David, everyone in this time is Joey Ryan.
Isn't that like, the cup of back then?
He's kind of just staring at you, sort of wide-eyed, like his hands. And he just kind of shakes his head.
Has
Do you want a
everyone
drink?
around here been kicked in the head by a horse? Seen anything strange? Dragons.
Here you go.
Goblins.
And he hands you, pours you an ale and hands it to you, and then, turns his back and starts, cleaning a mug.
Oh.
You just take the mug outside. Alright.
Boy, weird. I asked him a question, he just poured me a drink. Turned around.
That could mean he's afraid.
Go ahead and make a perception check, Eldak.
Perception.
Give it to Eldak this time.
You don't want another nat 20?
Well, it's
25.
more like if it's the law of numbers. If I say everybody can make a perception check, I might as well just
No,
tell
I
you
know.
what you see.
I'm just saying, I have 3 nat 20s for
So I kind of pick one person
20.
and be like, you might notice this, or whatever.
I almost had a nat 20. And we have the same perception.
You notice that the shades are all drawn on the windows around there, but you notice a woman from inside the bar opening the windows and sort of peering out at you guys, and when she notices you look over, shuts the curtain again.
Something seems fishy here.
Well,
And no kidding. That bald guy behind the counter is a weirdo. Everything's weird.
That woman just peered through the shade, and then when she saw me looking at her, she closed it real quick.
The thing about this is, I agree.
which leads me to believe that there's probably something going on here. More than just freaky people.
It is midnight. Do we want to stop there? Keep going for a while more?
He needs crap to attack. He needs
Yeah,
sleep.
I'm willing to go because I like D&D more than sleep. But I'm offering it because it is. I just realized it is midnight.
It
I'm good to
depends.
go, but
Have a stopping point. 20 minutes? Or is it going to be an hour before we have a stopping point?
Maybe we better stop now.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. I thought that I can't ever say for sure. We'll leave it there, outside the Strange Inn, pondering what you should do next.
All right.
The Last Well Inn.
Which has like I feel like a not great name. It seems ominous. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Last gas for 50 miles. Yeah, that wasn't my greatest naming.
No, it could be. It also could just be a legit ominous fucking bar name where it's like, yeah, that's a little creepy. Let's about stopping this place.
Did
Well, I
you get
see
any
the well.
visitors? Do we have any traffic today?
We did have
At least
one person
party
before.
hands.
There
Yeah,
were people,
party
Yeah, party
hands.
hands.
there were people in and out.
Just curious.
Loma 62. Party hand.
I like that one because
And,
I'm almost like, I'm gonna name
Deep
myself
as fuck.
Party Hand.
Which he doesn't have.
deep butt,
That's my son.
deep butt.
And I had Hunter and 12 for and like
Gotcha.
No. Generates a little traffic. It's interesting. Oh, you got your followers showing up there. Look at that.
oh yeah, my
Grind Kings Gaming. They had a stick up there, huh?
subs are off where the right guy is. Down one.
Stays there for a month. How many follows do you have? Do you have 50 follows yet?
Yeah,
Oh, nice. So you ready to be an affiliate?
yeah. It's just a matter of getting coverage.